Hello everyone and welcome to the channel for the first Mr. Sensible Live of the year. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and a great new year. I see we've already got quite a few people in here. Let's do a quick rundown in no particular order. 9 o'clock hero, hello to you sir. Lisa Irwin, you always miss these but you haven't missed it tonight. Joseph Grant, hey, love you Mr. Sensible, love you too Joseph. And Fantarang. And April Van Ryn, hello to you. Who else we got? Tusk, who was doing battle straight away with Polar Ian. Brian Shannon, good evening to you. There is no pint. There is no pint, but there is a Baileys. So that'll have to do for tonight. Yeah. Oh, Logical Troglodyte popped in and said he'll pop back. That'll be good. I started the set up the stream, ready to go, and within seconds Polar Ian was in here. I think his message has been deleted. He basically just said I'm a moron, and I then said, well, come into the live stream and discuss it. And then after that he said there's no point because there's no arguing with you, or what was it? It was something like that. No arguing with you, something of that ilk. But just coming in saying you're a total moron is not having a discussion or an argument in any way, shape or form. And yes, Joseph, that's right, don't forget to hit the like button. Hello Grandma Mo, a new name. Oh, Doc Scranton, hang on, my kids love you. Harry! I'll give him a shout out when you come back. Ivan James Hunt, good evening to you. You've got a bottle of wine, a good start. Yeah, Fantarang, I'm not a drinker. I don't drink at all really, but Baileys, there's something about Baileys. I could drink that all day. Who else we got? Oh, no Jägermeister. No, Jägermeister, that's an interesting drink. I do like that. And yo to you too, Liam Hodgetts. Well, anyway, I hope you've all had a smashing new year. And Tusk, yes, we have spoken about Baileys before. I hope you've all had a smashing new year. Mine was pretty crap. I was working over Christmas and New Year, and I was ill over the whole period with a nasty cold, so it didn't go down very well. Christmas Eve, I was working through till 1 a.m. Christmas Day with a 12-hour turnaround, so back into work for 1 p.m. when I was ill. Opus 1, when Mr. S is right, why argue with him? I like that. Please tell my missus. Oh no, Ivan. Is it a bottle of wine, Ivan? Because I can open a bottle of wine, a corked bottle of wine, with a shoe. There's a trick to it. The Rich Nunes, you did make it right on time. I am fine, thank you. I've been going for all of, 30 seconds, so you're in at the start. Mr. Andrat, good afternoon all. Bounce from Bob's Deadstream. Oh dear. Oh, Doc Scranton, you were Lily von Stupp. Oh, yes. And how many schnitzel, Gruber schnitzels did you cope with? Tusk, 25-year-old malt fell into your pocket. Well, it's a busy month for me. I think most of you, put your shoe on, go buy a bottle opener. Why bother, Tusk, when you can open it with a shoe? I could tell you guys the trick. It's really simple. Remind me in a while, I might tell you. January, as you probably know. Hello, Nalpinion. Good evening to you. As probably most of you know, this month is a busy month for me. I've got 2 more days of work and then I'm off for most of the rest of the month, which sounds great, but we got a lot of prep to do because it's my eldest daughter's wedding on the 18th. So that's going to keep us all quite busy. Then there's the wedding, of course. And hopefully after that, finally, we'll have a few days away, just me and Mrs. Sensible. I think she wants me just to go along so I can pay. But I already have a number of wonderful creators who have stepped forward and have produced episodes for me to show in slots. I'm just going to have a look, see if I can give some rundown of this, to show in slots during periods of difficult availability. Just to give you, and this is in no order because I'm not even sure what order they'll be shown. Let's see, January. Right, we will have videos. These are all confirmed because they're in the bag, ready to go. We have a video from Common Sense Criticism, from one of my patrons, Erebathron, from a combination really of Logical Troglodyte, Babes Troglodyte, with guest star Jutmonk the Drunk Monkey. That one I might have to put a warning on because of Jut's language. He's got away with it. He's going to get it on my channel. And the Sarcastic Barman, wonderful video from him. And there are 3 more. Oh no, what? There's another one that's been confirmed, but I haven't had a chance to look at yet, from 1 Minute Debunk. He did a 30-second debunk in my 1 Minute Debunk special. Excellent creator. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. So anyway, there's some good stuff coming up. I will slot in some live streams when and where I can, and I shall be producing as many videos as I'm able. So I hope that any missed slots will be few and far between, but we shall have to see. And Mr. Sensible, have I ever driven a milk float? No, I haven't. And chat hasn't stopped for me. Hey, come vacation in Iowa in January. Well, I don't know if we're going abroad, Opus One, but if we do, we'll probably go somewhere where it's a little warmer. I wouldn't mind seeing Iowa, so I'm not knocking it. But, yeah, I'm not knocking Iowa. Captain Kirk came from Iowa. He only works in outer space. Joseph Grant, your daughter, how old are you? You're much younger than I am, Gunga Din. Yeah, and much younger than the Creaky Blinder, despite what he says. So please, if you're ever in on one of his side chats, please mention to him how much older he looks than me. He will really appreciate that. Oh, Tenerife in March. Hey, Tusk, my daughter went to Tenerife about 2 years ago. This is my middle daughter. And that is Tenerife, isn't it, with the black beaches. There's a submarine you can go on, great big yellow submarine, and go across the reefs and that. And I think it was about 50 quid, but that's quite an experience because not many places you can get a ride on a submarine, and it had great big sort of viewing portholes. Excuse me, because obviously it's not designed to go to super depth. Joseph Grant, 68 years young. Ivan, a blowtorch and a fork. I told you, you can open a bottle of wine with a shoe. I think I better tell you how. Here is your bottle of wine. You get your shoe with the heel there and hold them together very well, and you bang them against the wall. Every time you bang, that cork will come out a little more. So you have to watch it so you don't keep going, otherwise it will come out. Then you just pull it out the last bit. It works. So you do not need what do you call it? Corkscrew to open a corked bottle of wine. Tip of the day. Come to Alberta. Mr. Andret, that sounds nice too, but I've got a feeling that might be quite cold. At least Creaky's not just a lad. He's not just a lad. He's at least 15 years older than me, and he tries to cover it up. You see, he keeps growing this beard and losing it again. He tries to make himself look a little older, lose the beard to try and suddenly look younger, but it's not fooling anyone. Oh, Mr. Andret, it works. What, the wine bottle thing? It certainly does. And Mark Beiser popped in to say, derp. Yeah, Fantarang, give it a go. Party trick, that. And we got Kerbertise. Good evening to you. And yeah, I agree. I hope everyone had a great New Year. Sorry. Hey, Logical. Good evening to you. I saw you pop in earlier, and you've already had a shout out as one of the creators that's provided a video covering. Sorry, I'm seeing some of these comments. It keeps making me laugh. Yeah, providing one of the videos covering slots in January. I really enjoyed it. So big thanks to Babes. Oh, right, we got a Polar Ian. You are welcome to come in here and comment. You are welcome to come in here and criticise and give proof of Flat Earth and try and debunk Globe Earth. That's all fine. Everyone is welcome, as long as there's a decent level of politeness. Can't say fairer than that. I saw that you had a temporary kick for 300 seconds. I'm glad that you weren't booted. It would be better if you could join in. Yeah, Ivan James Hunt. Yeah, gas pressure in an enclosed system. Bang it against the wall with a shoe, and you got your bottle open. Ah, Mark Beiser. So you go around everywhere saying derp, do you? I am just a young whippersnapper, Lisa. Yeah. Well, anyway, I hope you've all been well. This live stream tonight has very, very much been a rush because I finished work at 8 p.m. Home by about 8:45, and then I was having to scoff food and dash down here in time for the stream. One of the things I wanted to talk about, I'm just looking at the list of them because I've forgotten, is some of the videos I put out in the past few days. Just wondered what people's thoughts were on some of them. I nearly said the one that's out Tuesday. You'll have to wait till Tuesday for that, though. Right, what do we got? Right, we had D Marble and his fake satellite. I hope you all saw that, and I just wondered what you thought of it. Because when I saw his video, I'd never heard the story. Apparently quite a few people had heard the story of this. You're very welcome, Doc. But yeah, when I saw his video and he was showing that news story from some website, the second I saw that photo, I thought, that's some sort of mock-up satellite. It wouldn't fool anyone for a moment. It was just for fun. And thanks for that, Opus One. I appreciate that you said they're great. And Ivan too, you enjoyed them, great. Yeah, where is he coming from? I can't make out if he is just dumb, or if he's a Poe, or if he just really is convinced that that was what we call a satellite, and that they are all held up by balloons, or as they call on the Flat Earth Forum, sataloons they call them. I just don't get it, because even in the photo on his video, the photo from the news story, you could see the cardboard it was made of. So it was fooling no one. Good evening to you, NASA payroll system. Paul Chamberlain, hello to you. Yeah, so I just don't know where he was coming from. Where he got that, I don't know. And so having come to this, not knowing the story at all, but seeing it said Samsung selfie satellite or something like that, it took me all of 10 seconds to Google and start finding stories about it. And it was patently obvious. It was just a publicity stunt, a fun one, because you could send your photo in, get your photo taken on an S10 against the backdrop of the stratosphere and the Earth. Fantastic. So now Pinion thinks it's quite obvious he was lying, to make money. I doubt he has other income. Well, it's hard to know what sort of job he could hold down if he was convinced by things like that. I really don't know. Next one we had, last night. Was it last night? Terry Iker and his geysers. The man with the deepest voice in the world. Yo, what's up? Marcus Dresden, what's up? The Terry Iker. Apparently, he does produce videos, but not on YouTube anymore. I'm not surprised. But it was hosted on Philippe Rockholt's channel, who's a Christian channel, but his, I could understand it if it was, Christian stuff, testimonies, Bible explanations, all that sort of thing, and then this one video with some conspiracy type, his explanation for Noah's flood. But his channel is just jam-packed with weird and wonderful crap. Still, I suppose it's good for me because it was something for me to do. So, JC, hello to you. I agree. Some of the bigger guys in the Flat Earth Circle know it's crap. Certainly Nathan Oakley, because he's been caught admitting it or telling someone else to keep quiet because something they were talking about, I think it was lighthouses, disproved the flat Earth. What am I saying? I nearly said the globe Earth. So he's been caught. Anthony Riley, I can't make out. I don't think he's a stupid person. He's an intelligent person. Actually, I think probably Oakley is as well. Sometimes I think he's just lying, and sometimes I think he actually believes it. I can't quite decide on him. Oh, hello. I can see you in there, Colon. Okay, thank you very much, sir. Sorry everyone. If you just bear with me 1 second, I just need to ask him a question. Oh, it's off anyway. Yeah, Colon. Did you get in touch with him? Did you get a reply at all? Oh, he's out. No, never mind. Not to worry. Right, where was I? Oh, look at that, Logical Troglodyte. You've got a fan there, Joseph Grant. Logical Troglodyte's channel. Please check it out. As I said, LT is one of the people covering one of my slots. Marcus, actors and frauds. I think some of them are, but I don't think all of them are. I think some of them do believe what they're saying. Yeah, Anthony Liley. I've heard that too, Peter. What other videos do I do? Demup. Oh, yes. Pantomath. I did enjoy that one. He'd made some sarky comments on one of my videos, and sometimes when it happens, I go and have a look and check out their channel. I could see he had next to no subscribers, but that's not everything. He might have something interesting to say, or something particularly dumb. Guess which one it was? Something particularly dumb. And because he, if someone comes in and criticises and says you're wrong because, that's fine. But he was not the worst, but he was just obnoxious and sarcastic. So I thought he had to be busted. Now his was the one with Chris Hadfield talking about space, and then showing Chris Hadfield in Kazakhstan after coming back from the ISS in a Soyuz capsule, and was ridiculing the spacesuits they were wearing and why they couldn't keep them warm. Of course, they weren't spacesuits. They were Sokol rescue suits, basically flight suits, pressure suits, just to keep the astronauts, cosmonauts alive should they lose pressure on the way down, and no more. Not for EVAs, not for use in space. So that was fun and interesting, and he's not really commented again. I agree, Opus One. Straight up Dunning-Kruger. He was so sure of it. He could get something wrong. If he just was questioning it, that would be fine. But he was making fun of it, and I don't like that. Not when he was so full of himself and how right he was, even to his name, Pantomath. And yeah, didn't like that. What's all this? Mr. Andret, 2k per month. My mortgage is about half that. Curbatise. Are you having a discussion about finances? Yes. Should you need any advice, I do recommend an independent financial advisor. And that's not me. I just about manage, really. And we got Colon in there as ever. And with my thanks, doing good work. Thank you, Colon. I do appreciate it. This is last minute. You've never failed me so far, and I appreciate it. Max Mac, hello to you. Sleepy and Nathan Oakley. There is a brackets there. I'm not going to read that out because I don't know. But they both know for sure the correct shape of the globe. Well, I think you're right. But I still wonder about Sleepy. I really do. Oh, we got someone new there. Kebechet Lucifer. Kebechet Lucifer. Lucifer, I get devil, but Kebechet, don't know. Hi, all you chickens. Hello to you too. IB Hunter, I have next to no subscribers. What does that mean? It means a great big possible future audience for you. Go for it. Oh, Pantomath wanders around Edinburgh. He's not another flat smacker, is he? Like Dell. Well, not so much flat smacking, but bugging students, asking them stupid questions. Actually, Cypher Zero, why do my socks always disappear in the washing machine? Good point, because that was one that was one thing I was going to suggest for tonight. Or make that 2 when we talked about the videos. I've seen it done elsewhere, and I thought we could do a quick fire questions, and you can bang any question at me and I'll try and answer it. You might get some crap answers though. We'll go back one more. The previous one to that was Zetetic Astronomer, who used his P1000, of course, to take blurry images of stars. What else was it he did? Oh, he said the moon is translucent, and that's why it's blue, or half of it's blue when you see it in the daytime sky. And I can't remember what else it was all rubbish anyway. All rubbish. Hello, Elizabeth, to Vienna. Good evening to you. I guess it's, 11 o'clock at night there? Oh, and thank you very much, Elizabeth. I'm glad you like it. I hope you subscribed, and I hope you tell all your friends. Right, Rich Nunes. Oh, your socks always disappear in a dryer. Grandma Mo says it's a portal to another dimension. Yeah, sock space, which is nothing but socks. Perhaps they, when you get enough socks, it's enough for them to collapse under their own weight, and you sort of get a sock event horizon. Because I always wonder where biros go. You know, those disposable pens. Yes, Curbitize. I heard about that. Yes. I'm more sensible than that. I went for a Riley before I started the stream. Was I upset? Replaced by Hattie? Well, she is a bit of a babe. And of course, Holly invented the, what was it? The decave instead of an octave. So you had more notes for music. So I can't remember exactly. It was something like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, bo, wo. Something like that. Which was very interesting. The sock time continuum. A portal in a wardrobe. Yeah, I don't know where socks go. Although I tend to find there's always plenty of socks, but no two are the same. And I actually wore odd socks to work once, and someone commented on it, and I said, that's all right, I've got another pair at home, exactly the same. Pens disappear into your handbag. I tell you what, pens disappear. I'm always moaning about the disposable pens. We had a little pot on the side just with the odd biros for scribbling notes. Whenever I go to get one, they're gone. And I had a moan about it. So, just as a joke, Christmas before last, one of my kids bought me a pack of 10 disposable biros. I put them on my desk down here, and within, I think within a week, every single one had gone, which is just madness. Mr. Andrat, anyone watch Physics Girl? Why, what's she doing? I don't even know what half you people are talking about in the chat. Ah, Mark, you solved the problem by always buying the same socks. Yeah, so am mine. But then I get another one, the same colour, that belongs to one of my daughters. So I still can't win. Yeah. Alexa, set alarm for 5 a.m. every day. I hope that helps, Tusk. And actually, any of you that have Alexas, just make sure you've got your loudspeaker on, because here's something interesting. I'll give you a second. What's this? Oh, you're right, Curbitize. Before now, admittedly, I've had other people in chat, and I've just said, look, I've got to go for 30 seconds, and I've nipped off. I never would have dreamt of using a bottle. Alexa, what is Creaky Blinder Carrots 100 in Welsh? And I wonder if anyone's Alexa picked that up and if they got the answer. And if you haven't heard it before, try it. Don't start with what, Ivan? What were we talking about? Got the Soctinuum. Can I tell her my time zone? Well, my time zone is UTC, Doc. which is the same as GMT. Max Mac. But is your Alexa on, and did it do it? Did anyone have an Alexa on? Did anyone get the result of my message? I don't think so. Oh, the Alexa stuff. Oh, that can be quite fun now. And I promise not to ask it to order you tons of cat food. I wouldn't do any of that. But it is funny. That did happen. That someone had said on some radio or TV program, they'd said that device's name, please order some toy. And of course it ordered toys for people, and they complained about it. It got in the news, and they were telling the story, repeated the command, and a whole load more toys were ordered. Oh, Ivan, almost. That was almost it. Try it again. You say the name of the device. What is Ivan carrots 100 in Welsh? Arnold, Opus 1. Arnold is here. Well, he was here. He's kicking around somewhere. Oh, come here, Arnie. Come on. He sat just on my little coffee table. If he comes over again, yeah, tons of cat food. If he comes on my coffee table, I'll bring him up. Oh, right, we've got Polar Ian in here. I hope you heard my message earlier, Polar. You are welcome, as long as you keep it clean. You can criticise, you can say how we're wrong, that's all fine. You can give evidence for Flat Earth, that's fine. But excessive and needless swearing, no, not on my channel, thank you, okay? So as long as you keep it clean and respectful, and we will try and be respectful to you, you're welcome to stay. And I don't think I can say fairer than that. Oh, Curbitize, you remember that song? Yes, Max Mac. But have you got your Google device? Sorry, I'm not gonna say it again. But have you got your Google Google device to say that sentence? So say the device. What is Max Mac carrots 100 in Welsh? What have we got? Brought an echo in the office. Let it play music. I like that, JC. I must admit, I'm always doing it. We've got several of them in the house. Well, my daughter's got one. We got one in our bedroom. It's Mrs. Sensible's. I've actually got one in here, but it's unplugged. I'm not stupid. But yeah, I'm always going around and setting reminders on my daughter's one, saying remind her to tidy her room and isn't Dad great and stuff like that. And for Mrs. Sensible, it will just pop up at a random time, just say, "Gosh, isn't Mr. Sensible wonderful?" and things like that. Arnold does come, yeah. Come on, Arnie. It's just he's sat here watching because he's just watching me talking. I guess he can't understand it. Come on, come on. Yeah, he's coming. Come on. Oh, he's having a stretch. Come on. He's a lazy so-and-so. He's great. Come here, Arnold. Come be a star. You're going to knock the camera or something otherwise. Oh, come on. Here you go. There's the Arnie man. Oh, he's a good boy. Have I read any J.D. Robb? No, I haven't. Yes, the Flat Earth family. That was great, wasn't it? Absolutely great. So, Polar Ian, have you got anything sensible to say? I could do a Nathan Oakley. Housekeeping questions. Any evidence for a flat Earth? Any explanation for seasons? Any measurement for the height of the sun and the moon above the flat Earth? I'm sure we can think of more. Yeah, Ivan, did you try that with your device? I think it's quite effective. Hey, Arnold! Let's get him closer. Oh, maybe a purr. You're going to purr today? I'll see if I can get him purring. He's got a great purr when he does. Are you allowed to swear needlessly? Marcus, go ahead, knock yourself out, swear as much as you want, and then let us know when, and type when you've finished. He is beautiful. He's wonderful. I could do that, Max Mac. toxoplasmosis. Is that disease you can get from cats? Is that it? Elizabeth, pretty boy, thank you. What do you think of Arnold? Haha, he's a good lad. But he's not purring loud. Colon is... Oh, it's unladen. African or European swallow? And it's the airspeed velocity. There's a difference between speed and velocity. God, come on, Arnold. You're going to start purring. Come on, purr for everyone. He's not. He's purring, but not very loud. So, someone was saying about socks all the same. I'd happily have that for all my shirts and trousers and whatever, but apparently, Elizabeth. Oh, see, he loves me. Somebody does, don't you, Arnold? We're the only two guys in the house because there's another cat, female, two female dogs, my wife, and three dogs. Actually, it's my father-in-law as well, but I'm not sure he really counts. he probably forgets half the time. Oh, Opus, you like that? Yes, it was you who commented about the precession of Polaris over 26,000 years, and then eventually it won't point at Polaris. I was just showing about the axial tilt, that's all. Who else? Are you having discussions or arguments with Polar Ian? Ah, right. Eratosthenes was measuring the circumference of the round Earth in his shadow experiment. Did you see that in my 1 minute debunk collection videos that Now Pinion, who was here earlier, I'm not sure if he's still in here, actually recreated Eratosthenes' experiment on an orange, and actually using cocktail sticks he got a more accurate measurement percentage inaccuracy than Eratosthenes did of the Earth, which is quite amazing. Hello, Hugh. Yes, Arnold looks well. Oh, and by the way, Hugh, it was you, wasn't it, posted that comment about myself, that kind comment. I really do appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Cypher Zero. Ah, so you're talking with what's his name again? I've forgotten his name. Polar Ian. So what then, Polar Ian, was Eratosthenes trying to do when he did his shadow experiment with sticks? I'd be interested to know. Now, Pinion, you're still here. Good. I'm glad. Just you and your female cat, Elizabeth. Cats are wonderful. I like dogs. In fact, I like all animals. But given a choice of one animal, I'd always go for a cat. Oh, I've got something I need to do there. Oh, where is it? There we go. Tusk, you're now blue. And actually, there was another one I wanted to do. Fantarang, you have a spanner. Congratulations, guys. Thank you for being long-time viewers. Appreciate it. And actually, there was another one there. I don't want that to lose that one. Mr. Huge Ass. There you go. You're a mod as well, mate. I think that's enough new mods for tonight. People will be modded as and when. Just so that people know. I'm not suggesting anyone is, but please don't ask. Even if you feel that you've been a long time person, it doesn't mean I've got anything against you. I will mod people at a time when I think of it and I'm comfortable doing it. But when someone asks, actually, it may be that it's someone who I was thinking of modding anyway, but I feel a little uncomfortable because I like to decide when I mod someone. And in fact, if someone asks, I'm more likely to make them wait, and I don't want that to be the case. Huge ass, what do you have to do? Well, you're in charge now, mate. You'll soon pick it up. What you'll see is if someone writes a rude message, it will pop up, and you or one of the other mods can look to see if it's one that can be approved or held. You'll find out. I'm sure that one of the other mods can help you with that if you need help. Oh, did you hear? Hopefully it comes through. Quickly, let me test if I can get the sound on here. Oh, where is it? I'm waiting for this to come through because I've got the delay. I'm wanting to test to see if the new sound comes through. No, it didn't. What's wrong with that? This is really weird. I've got it set up so that when I get a super chat or a new subscriber or whatever, it actually, as well as giving the indicator, it actually makes a noise. And it does. I heard it and I could see it on the OBS, but when it gets through to YouTube, it's gone. I don't understand that. Yes, Ivan James, boobies. So you did that to test out a moderator, did you? Oh dear. So I have a super chat from 3am Paranormale e Horror, super chatting €2. A 15 degree per hour drift. Hello, sir. Hello to you too, 3am Paranormale e Horror, and big thanks to Bob, no doubt. Thanks, Bob. We appreciate it. That's the gift that's always giving, isn't it? I wonder what happened to that gyroscope. Do you think they tried to get their money back, say it was defective? Oh, I see Hugh is getting moderator advice. Hello, Tatty Boggle. Well, Polar Ian saying that the sun moves in circles around the North Pole. When it's over your head, it's day. When it's not, it's night. Yes, as far as that goes, that's okay. But you've also got to be able to explain 24-hour sunlight in Antarctica. You've also got to explain what it's going around and why. You've also got to explain why during the year it moves further north, i.e. smaller circles, and then during the northern winter, southern summer, it moves out and in larger circles, and how it would need to change speed to cover that larger circle in 24 hours, but doesn't, because it sticks at the same speed. Good luck with that. And I see, and I've just heard, another super chat. Oh, from Naupinion. Thank you very much, Naupinion. Super chatted Swedish krona 59. Testing the sound again. Maybe some sex help. Thank you very much, Now. I appreciate that. I don't know what it is. I'm going to have to spend some time thinking about it. I'm not going to worry about it. It's only a little thing, which is, funnily enough, what Mrs. Sensible's always saying. But anyway, yes, whole moon seasons and lunar phases are a problem, Mark. You're quite correct. And how can the moon get between us and the sun to give us a solar eclipse? And how can it ever be a lunar eclipse if the moon is always above us and not behind us with respect to the sun? Oh, my goodness, super chat again. 3am Paranormale e Horror, and please just drop in the chat. Please don't super chat it. Just drop in the chat an explanation of what your name is and why. I guess that's all to do with that. Is that all to do with that weird things and people waking up at 3am? Don't know. But anyway, super chatted €2. Best I can do is $20 for the gyro. Maybe you should offer. Maybe they're getting desperate. Well, the thing obviously doesn't work, does it? So they should be glad of $20. Better than scrap value. How's it going? Common sense criticism. It's going fine, thank you, sir. And just to let you know as well, I mentioned right at the beginning of this stream about my busy January, for those who don't know, and saying that I've already had a number of creators who have not only promised, but quite a few of you have actually supplied episodes to be shown during January in various slots. And I mentioned that you, Common Sense Criticism, are one of those kind creators, and I'm really looking forward to those going out. You'd like to jump in and ask Polar Ian a few questions, Cypher? Do you mean in chat? But it means go away, ask him questions. Actually, Polar Ian, have you got a microphone? Can you hold your tongue and be polite? Would you like to come on to live chat now? Let me know in the chat. And in case I miss it, can someone highlight it? If you at Mr. Sensible, I stand more chance of seeing it. Hey, Ryder. Only this evening, because I've had crappy shifts lately. Only this evening, I listened to that clip you gave me. I will get back to you and we can have a chat. But I've got even worse shifts the next 2 days. I don't finish until 10 o'clock at night. Guys, my Discord link is in the description under this video and all streams. Well, thank you, Common Sense. Well, to be honest, the first sort of 2/3 of it is all prep and then wedding, my daughter's wedding. Me and Mrs. Sensible plan to go away for a few days. We don't know where. It's going to be one of those last minute things, which we've never really done before, so looking forward to that. Yeah, so where are we? Polar Ian. My Discord link has just been popped in the chat there by Colon. You come into the Discord and there's a live waiting room. And you pop in there and Colon is in there and he can just explain how it happens. And what I'll do is I'll then drag you into the live stream and you will be live. Rider of Dinosaurs, yours starts on Monday. Oh, your shifts. Oh, right. Day after tomorrow. Okay, well, we'll have to catch up at some point, but I think we're all right for times because I can't really do anything in January anyway, as I'm sure you understand. When is my next Harry Hill movie coming out? Soon. That's all I can say. I don't want to give anything away. And I can feel my voice is sounding rather deep and super sexy tonight. Which reminds me, any sound experts out there, and this is actually a question for Colon as well, to get back to me at some point. I had noticed with this new and wonderful mic, on occasions when I was testing it and in videos, I was getting what I could hear as strange noises. And yet, so I've just got another one of these noises come through. What was I saying? Oh yeah, could hear these odd distortions. I couldn't quite work out what it was, and yet everyone was saying how wonderful the mic sounded, and I thought it was my ears. Or the fact that I've got my headphones plugged into the mic, and perhaps that was causing it. But then someone mentioned that they heard this distortion in one of my videos. Obviously I don't want that, but I was glad it's not just me. And they mentioned a thing called audio compression artifact. And I was thinking about it. When I'm live streaming, it's just recording or broadcasting the sound through OBS and out to the net. When I do voiceovers on my videos, it's just recording the soundtrack, which I drop onto the video. When I'm recording bits of the video with me, then it's recording the sound as well as the video at the same time and combining it. So I'm wondering if I need to record the sound separately and then drop it over the top. I will experiment with that at some time. Now I see we've got Cypher Zero in the waiting room, as well as SKYFLYBRI. But what I don't have yet is, oh my goodness, I've forgotten his name again. And I do apologise for that. That's not deliberate. What was his name? Oh, it's Polar Ian. Sorry, I do apologise for that. Yeah, so if you want to come in, please do. I had a super chat again from Mr. or Mrs. because I don't know. I shouldn't make assumptions. 3 a.m. Paranormale e Horror. Super chatted again, €2. I like paranormal and horror stories. Also Eminem, 3 a.m. Oh, is that a song by Eminem? I'm not really with it. Is that one of those rock and roll things? Sorry. Yeah, so Polar Ian, You've not turned up, mate. An audio compression artifact sounds like a Nathan Oakleism. Okay, let's bring someone in. So hopefully they're aware they don't have or have headphones on, so we don't get any feedback. Let's give it a go. First of all, I'm going to bring in a new person to live stream. Cypher Zero, you're in my live stream now, and I shall make you go live. Hello and good evening to you.
Hello, Mr. Sensible. How are you?
I am fine, and it's good to meet you.
Good to meet you finally. Yes, I believe you had one of my cohorts, Philosopher of Nonsense, on last week.
Ah, yes, I did. Cohorts. Are you a gang or something then?
We are a squirrel hive mind that go by the name of NASA Black Site Area 69, and we've started doing the same thing you guys have been doing for many years successfully in debunking flat earthers and just asking. We consider ourselves a group of laymen that met together just from the comment sections on YouTube, and we put the whole thing together, and we're looking at launching the whole thing by the end of the month. But
what, into a channel?
That's that, and yes, into a YouTube channel. It's already up, but we haven't put any content up yet, but we're working on it as we speak.
Okay, well, you'll have to keep us all up to date so we can give you a shout out when that goes live.
Absolutely, thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Yes, Philosopher of Nonsense was on last week. Now, it does get. I mean, I know him from seeing him in chat. I know him from chatting to him.
Yep.
But with so many people, I do get a bit muddled from time to time. Now, I think it was him that was getting rather excited. I can't remember who we were talking to, and it was
Flat Earth Aussie
Jesus. That was it. Yes.
Yeah.
And he was getting rather excited, but I had to sort of rein him back again because because that was fine, because it wasn't a proper debate. It was just a friendly chat, you know.
No, and that's what he's actually looking at setting that up with Flat Earth Aussie Jesus sometime once we've gotten launched and gotten a few. We're going to be doing it sort of like the shills, like a weekly sort of roundup of the stupid from the week that they put out.
Yep. Good stuff. As a debate with Aussie Jesus?
Yeah, he's looking at setting that up once we've actually got it started, and we're trying to get everything sorted out. We're having a meeting on the 11th to start organising what we're going to do for the first one and the next few after that.
Oh, excellent. Well,
but like I'm just. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go on.
I was just going to say, like I'm just an ordinary dude from Australia that can walk down to the beach here at Shelley Beach in Port Macquarie anytime I really want and watch the sunrise. And
lovely.
On a flat Earth, it shouldn't be appearing anywhere near my location. It should be way up past, like Queensland, the tip of Australia, even.
Well,
yet I see it rise from directly in front of me every single day, and then go over in a big arc over my house. Like I could sit here and track the thing all day. And it doesn't follow any, like, I know none of the flat earthers claim any of the maps that any of the other ones put out. They don't have a model. We all know this. And I keep saying to them, when is one of you going to build me the relative density equivalent of a gravimeter? None of them have done it yet.
Well, we know the level of flat earth scientists.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, yes. Mr. Riley and his egg?
Yeah.
That's not an egg. That's not an egg, and pulls out an ostrich egg. This is an egg.
Yeah. Oh, shades of Crocodile Dundee.
Oh, yes. We are going to go full on Aussie on these guys.
Yeah. Do you know what? That's one thing. I've never been to Australia. My daughter has been living there for about 2.5 years now. She's just marrying an American. They both work in Oz. It's somewhere I would like to go. Now, I mean, there's great fun and teasing between Brits or Poms and Aussies. Obviously, it's the cricket between us. I'm not a cricket fan, but there is the cricket between us. And I think it's all good-natured with a lot of respect. And I know that Australians are popular here. I don't know how Poms are over there. Are they popular or?
we love the Poms. You guys are awesome.
It's great, isn't it?
I do want to say thank you very much for giving paradise to thieves, though.
To give him what? I see. Yeah. Well, that's right. Well, I mean, of course, Australia still is Britain's largest open-air prison.
It really is.
But it's somewhere I'd like to go.
Why the episode is.
We wandered off from what I was trying to say. I was trying to say I've never been, but one thing I really love, and I honestly mean, is about the Australians, is there's none of this PC rubbish. They say it like it is. None of this fannying about. If that's rubbish, they'll say it's rubbish.
Yeah, we don't fuck around. We don't have time to fuck around. We've got too many things trying to kill us.
Well, yeah. And,
the sun, the animals, I mean, the bloody fires we've had going lately.
Well, yeah, I was just going to ask you about that. Are you in an area that's at risk at all?
I'm in Port Macquarie, and we had probably 3 weeks of red days because of the smoke that was flowing over.
It's bloody scary.
Everything's burnt. Yeah, it really was. Luckily, it didn't get into town. My brother had to be evacuated from his place, but it didn't get close to where we were because they were firebombing the hell out of it. Because if it had gotten close to Port Macquarie, the whole place would have gone. But there's been a lot of koalas killed. Our local koala hospital's full up with the poor little buggers. It's a catastrophic event.
Absolutely. And listen, you have not only my full sympathy and thoughts, I'm sure everyone in the chat. It's just absolutely atrocious.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Yeah, it's not good.
No.
And the thing is, it was due to happen at some point. Like, this sort of thing will happen if you let fuel and whatnot build up over years. Like, we haven't had a massive fire like this. I think the last big media covered one was the 94 Sydney bushfires.
Right.
This is 1,000 times worse than that.
Yeah. It's unreal. And not being funny, it looks like a scene out of Dante's Inferno.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And I mean, I heard about one of those volunteer firefighters in the fire truck, and it blew over, and he was killed. I mean, that's just...
Yep.
Yeah.
And the last I heard, as of yesterday, there were 28 people missing down near Bega, I think it is. They've lost another couple of people, and people are just losing homes left, right, and centre. That's terrible.
Isn't it awful?
So, yeah, thoughts go out to all those people as well.
Well, I saw on the news tonight, they were talking about this hero. I forget the name of the little town he was in. It said that he stayed to defend his house and neighbours' houses. I don't know about his, but he did manage to save some houses, others he didn't.
Yep.
And they were interviewing him, and I thought, man, he is perfect Australian, because they sort of said, wow, you're a real hero, you stayed behind. Do you think it was a mistake staying behind? He said, yeah, I shouldn't have done it, it was stupid. He saved these people's houses. He said,
yeah, well... We don't think about it. Like the majority of Australians that I know will just jump in and help someone that needs it.
Yeah.
We don't care about our personal safety if something like that is happening.
Good on you. Good on you.
So yeah. But thank you for the thoughts of
well,
the thoughts.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't suppose there's much that I or anyone else here in chat, unless they are in Australia, can do other than to express our sympathies. I mean, it's just heartbreaking.
Donate to Australian rural fire brigades if you can.
If you've got the link, have you got the link?
I can pull one up actually.
Okay, if you pull one up, let's see, and you can see I've got a channel. One of the text channels up near the top on my Discord called The Lounge. If you drop it in there, I will drop it. Or Colon perhaps can drop it into the chat. Then if anyone wishes to donate, that would be wonderful.
Which one was it, sorry?
In the lounge. Well, lounge or general chat.
The lounge,
lounge. Yep. Yeah, because we've agreed on that. So just drop the link in there.
Oh, it's in general chat, sorry.
Oh, general chat, that's okay. Not a problem.
So
I've got it. Yeah,
there's somewhere to be able to do something or donate for them. So if you can,
I'm popping.
If anyone could do that, that would be absolutely brilliant.
There's the link, everybody. www.nswnewsouthwales.gov.oz. Okay, so please.
And there are state fire services. That's just the one where I am. You can obviously look up the one from Melbourne or West Australia. Any of those ones, Queensland, will have their own rural fire service.
Yeah, but I should think the help is appreciated. Anyone, and I see
it
Rider
really
of Dinosaurs
Absolutely.
is repeating it. Yeah, a worthy cause.
I thank all of you for that. Thank you.
Well, let's hope there's some donations in there. Now, what I want to do is bring in a regular, SKYFLYBRI. I'm going to bring
Yep.
him into chat. I don't know if you chatted with him briefly in the waiting room, did you?
I did. I think actually he pulled me in just as he got there.
Okay. All right, well, I'll bring SKYFLYBRI in now.
Sure.
So I found him up.
Hello, Bri.
Hello, Mr. Sensible.
Hello, how are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you.
And we have in here with us Cypher Zero from Oz.
Hello, Bri. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So, are you in Australia, yeah?
Yeah, I'm in Port Macquarie in New South Wales.
Something tells me you've not been listening to the chat, Bri.
No, I've been talking to Colon, sorry. In the other
Okay, and I probably just ripped you out of a conversation now, I'm sorry.
That's okay, no problem.
So what have you been up to this week, Bri?
I've been doing quite a lot, actually. I found out this new plant. It's not new, actually, it's very old. Moringa. It's a tree that grows on the equator.
Yeah.
And it provides many nutrients, protein, vitamins and that. But because it grows on the equator, the only place you can get it is from Holland and Barrett in the UK.
Okay.
Like Holland and Barrett, sorry. It's like £10 for 50 grams, so it's like £80 a kilo.
For what? Do you smoke it? Inject it?
No, you put it on your soup and that. You put it in your tea. You can make tea with it. Put it in
Okay.
your food.
I use salt and pepper.
Yeah, it's called the Tree of Life. Apparently. Some people call it the drumsticks tree.
Yeah, well, I bet it's actually got quite an ordinary name. They think we can flog that. It's not bad. Maybe even it's good for you. We'll give it a fancy name like Tree of Life. People will think they're going to live forever if they eat it.
No, it's a good plant, and I've researched it.
Okay.
And I've been to Holland and Barrett today, but they didn't have any in stock. Apparently, Asda store sell tea bags with that ingredient, but they didn't have any in stock.
I prefer tea bags with tea in it. But I'm only teasing you, Bright. I've not heard of it before. I know nothing of it.
No, because I've been looking at a lot of stuff like bamboo and stuff like that. Bamboo is amazing. You know, they make furniture out of it.
Well, you can
socks you can make out of it.
Socks, bamboo socks.
Bamboo socks. Coming back to the sock thing.
Bamboo sheets.
Yes.
Bamboo sheets, yeah.
About £70 for a king size duvet set. And they're super soft, and they last for years.
Oh, someone's saying that link doesn't work. Let me try it.
I'm just thinking, Mr. Sensible, I haven't got a clue what you were talking about.
We were talking about the terrible fires in Australia, and Cypher Zero's given us a link that's for a fire service, I think. Yeah, rural fire service. It does load for me too. It's a little slow to load up, but it does load for me. I don't know if there's
it's loading for me too.
I don't know if there's anything on there about how to donate. Do you know where that is?
Now let's have a look. Search for donate. How you can help. Here we go. I'll grab the how you can help link. And drop that into the general.
Okay, drop that into general.
There's a guy called
there we go.
Yeah, sorry, bro. Bro, let's just get this done with this. So here's a longer link. How you can help. That's just been dropped into chat. I've not gone onto the link yet, so hopefully that's a donate type link. Unless you're able to pop round with some buckets, I suppose. Donations. There we go. Australian Red Cross Disaster Recovery Relief. Salvation Army Disaster Appeal, St Vincent de Paul Society Bushfire Appeal, New South Wales. So I'm sure there's, through that page, if anyone wishes to help in any way, they can.
We would very much appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, those guys, I think it's just amazing. I heard one guy talking about the fact that some employers are being difficult about it. I would have thought, if I was an employer, yeah, sure, it might be hard for my company if several people wanted to go off and do that. But it's your communities, isn't it?
They'd be jumping up and down the second that their property was under fire.
Absolutely. I mean, there's plenty of people who can't do that sort of physical work.
I would be out there right now if it weren't for my shoulder and hip, honestly.
Oh man. Well, listen. I hope that you and your family all stay safe. So stay safe.
Thank
Cypher.
you, much appreciated.
Have you got friends or family who are volunteers?
Yes. My stepbrother and his family are out there helping at the moment.
Wow. It's like a scene from hell. It really is.
Yep.
I can't even envisage it.
They're not even sure how a lot of them got started. Mostly dry, just really dry conditions for the last nearly 50 years.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some film of them driving along and the fire spreading so quick. You mean even if it's going to jump from tree to tree, it's the speed of it that's astonishing. I just don't know how. Yeah, sorry, go on, Bri.
Terry Davis, who does the YouTube live streams from Australia, with lots of other Australians and some guys from New Zealand, and the smoke has spread from Australia to New Zealand.
I can actually drop some. I got some pictures when it first started around here with the Himawari 8 and took pictures of just the red outside. It actually made me nauseous a few days just looking outside from the colour of the sky.
Yeah, orange. Yeah.
It doesn't look real, does it? My daughter's back. She's been living in Newcastle, and she says that ash is falling there. You know, and they said that there's been some funny coloured skies and so on. It's just unreal. I mean, I saw some news report, and it looked like it was sort of late evening. It wasn't. It was the middle of the day. It was just so much smoke and that it looked like nighttime.
Yep.
Without going into the politics, because I don't do politics on here, Cypher. What do you think?
Excellent. Neither do I.
Okay. I mean, I have political views, and I'm quite happy to discuss them, but I just don't on my channel.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know? But what does your average Aussie think about the way the government's handling things?
There's a lot of talk about the Green Party and how they weren't allowing backburning to be done to control the fuel levels.
Okay.
There's a lot of yelling at the Prime Minister about it at the moment too. And I was talking to someone the other day about it, and they said, well, what could he have done? I mean, besides, there's not much that the politicians could have done besides, allowing some of the fuel to be backburned and proper control to be put in place so that, it didn't jump the way that it did from section to section. And yeah, I mean, I personally think it would have been a good idea to get rid of a lot of that fuel. Yeah. But then the Green Party jumps up and down and goes, oh, but what about, the animals that may die in that? And it's like, well, sometimes you have to. Yeah. What do they call it? A profit loss risk thing?
I know what you mean. Yes.
I watched this Aussie channel, and apparently he told me that the Prime Minister has gone away on holiday.
He was on holiday in Hawaii, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, but he's back now. I mean, that was politically that was really a bad move, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But it's so difficult because I mean, obviously bushfires are a natural thing, but then without man, they'd have been happening regularly and burning out massive areas. But because no one's controlling them, as you said, so controlling the fuel levels. But now, I guess you get a fire, you try and put it out. You get a fire, you try and put it out, which is all very well.
Yep.
But overall, things are building up and up and up. And of course, that's happening in the States as well.
Yep.
I watched some of the videos from their the local news in Australia, and I watched these flames when this fire engine going down this long road, and then it stopped because it realised it got to the point where it can't go any further, and then another fire engine that was ahead of it reversed to try and escape the flames.
I've seen that one, yes.
It reversed into it, and you watch the flames just jump across the road. And I estimate they were travelling 50 miles an hour based on my experience.
Yep.
The flames just moved straight across the road, and they showed you the fire engine later, and all them like little plastic pointer things they have on the wheel nuts were mounted.
Oh man.
It's terrifying. That sort of thing is absolutely terrifying. I remember we had nothing of this scale. One day we lived sort of just outside the little country town where we lived, and my brother had friends over one night, and they had a little campfire. He thought he'd put it out, but it caught up and burned all up the side of the big hill, and it was moving towards place. Like, it can just happen so quickly despite how careful you try to be. Just like that, it can happen and take off when it's the right conditions.
It's not just one part of Australia, it's the whole of Australia.
Yep.
It's even spread to the islands north of there.
It's not good.
I don't know what the answer is. Someone, sorry, do forgive me, I forget the name. Someone said sometimes you just got to let fires burn. Well, that's true, but the problem is it's now such a state that it's beyond that, isn't it? Because otherwise you're burning whole towns. You're not just burning big areas of bush, are you?
No, that's right, yeah.
It's smoke as well. Obviously,
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's awful, what people are having to breathe, yeah.
I'm actually now looking for one of those pictures that I got, and I might have to grab a hard drive here, but I'll see if I can find the picture I got of the first few days of this happening.
Yeah.
You know, I've lived a few years.
You guys chat amongst yourselves, and I'll do that.
Sorry, it's the worst fires in Australia I've experienced since my birth, basically.
Are you in Oz, Bri?
No, I'm in the UK, mate.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Oh, I see. But it's the first. It's the worst you've heard of.
Yeah. Heard of. Yeah.
I mean, they don't normally get in the news any more than there's a big bushfire. No. But this is unreal. This has been going on for months, hasn't it?
This has been covered by the media for months now. I do need to pull the hard drive out. It's all on there. So yeah, while I find those, we can move it on, and I'll give you a yell out when I find it.
Okay. It can get a bit tricky because I've got so many windows open. Have you done any live streaming?
Not yet, no.
Because I've got a window open with the background video. I've got OBS for broadcasting. I've got the YouTube broadcast. I've got the output, and then I've got the live chat popped out. I've got my Discord going, and it's a big.
Well, I'll drop it into the Discord for you, and then you can use it anytime you sort of want. Then.
Okay, but it's trying to get it on screen. Oh, actually, I think I've thought of a way I might be able to do it. But yeah, drop it into Discord. I'll see if I can pull a photo up. I just have to be careful I don't screw up.
Absolutely, yeah, sure.
Screw up the live. And actually, what I'm going to do, just for 30 seconds, I'll just take this opportunity and just run my patron roll. Big thanks to all my patrons.
Absolutely.
With massive thanks to all my patrons, including new patrons Janie, Stephen Huxtable, Paul Reap, Surf, Number 6, Corpus Defectus, Tiffany Hall, Erebathron, and Bard Tail, and my newest patrons, Francis Chimenti and William Foley. Thank you all so very much. And we're back again. So yeah, massive thanks to all my patrons. I really do appreciate all of you. Right, so where were we? Oh yes, and someone's just said, Cypher, about the temperatures there. I saw that there was an unofficial possibility of 47.8 or 48.9, something like that. That is absolutely unreal. I mean, I was in Arizona about 18 years ago, and it was 42. And of course, it's very, very dry there. And although I don't like high temperatures, if it gets in the high 20s here, I feel uncomfortable. I could cope with that. It was very hot. It was incredibly hot. But the idea of getting up into sort of 48, I just can't even imagine it.
That's 48 Celsius for people in America.
Yes. Yeah. I don't
there you go. Sensible. There's one in the general chat now.
Okay, let's see how I might be able to. Oh.
You can see the smoke there in the Himalaya.
Hold on a minute. I might be able to do this. Let me see. I'm going to see if I can get this onto the broadcast. Let's see if I've got a scene that I can use. Oh, yes, I have. 1 second. Let's just resize that a little.
Yeah, this is one of the satellite views you get every 10 minutes from the Himalaya.
Himawari 8. Yep.
Yeah,
Himawari,
I'm just trying to get.
Himawari.
I'm just trying to get it set up so that it shows on the broadcast. Okay, let me just change.
Yeah, the people in
That.
Australia, they see this and they realise
It should just be coming up onto the screen now. Of course, with a delay for everyone
Oh,
there.
of course, yeah. Sorry about that.
That's all right. That's all right. But we can talk because by the time your voice gets through. Oh no, voice is real time, isn't it? Oh gosh, I don't
Yeah,
know. No, it isn't.
Yeah.
The voice should be joining. There we go. The picture is up on the screen anyway. Now.
Himawari, that's it, Himawari.
But can you tell us a bit about that picture? Oh, what have I done?
So I live basically in the middle of the smoke plumage there.
In the middle of the smoke?
Where the smoke's pouring out to sea there.
Brisbane or south of there?
It's Port Macquarie, south of there, a bit south of Byron Bay, between Coffs Harbour and Newcastle. So I was basically Newcastle's just a little bit north of Sydney.
For people in the UK, how far from Sydney?
Where I am, 400 kilometres.
Okay.
Next door then, Australia wise.
Pretty much, yeah. And as I said, we had weeks worth of nothing but red skies. You know, you could look directly at the sun.
Yeah.
Through the smoke, and as you can see in that first picture, it's all starting to meet up with the clouds and all of that ended up stretching to New Zealand eventually.
Yeah, sorry. Someone's just said, it was me. I had temporarily screwed it up, so I was showing the whole chat again. I think I'll have to go back. I mean, your picture's been up there, but I'm going to go back to the ordinary view because it's all too easy to screw things up. I did a live stream and actually accidentally showed all my emails.
Oh no!
Well, that's all right.
I am learning how to do all of this. So I've got stuff ready to pull up onto a screen if we need it. I'm planning on doing it so we've got a folder set up before we start the show, so then we can go directly to what we need and have that window up.
Yeah,
might be a little tip. That's how I'm doing it.
Yeah, the problem is it's doing things on the fly get very dodgy because I'd set your picture up on a tab on window, that was fine. Then I forgot and I clicked on another tab and suddenly my OBS is showing the other thing. You see what I mean?
You're red pill philosophizing, aren't you?
How do you mean?
Red pill philosophizing, how he's got all these tabs open at any given time. Many tabs. Such high IQ.
High IQ research. Yes.
Yes, that's right.
Well, no, there's not many tabs. I've got lots of windows. You see, that's the real sign of intelligence. Yeah.
Indeed.
I screw it up. Anyway, that picture, it's just horrific, isn't it?
And that was literally when they had just taken off. That's probably a week after they started.
So what about the fact that I can't even think of his name, but the Australian Prime Minister and his
Scott Morrison.
His, shall we say, lack of belief in or acceptance of global warming. Now, I'm not. Now, maybe you're a supporter of his party, maybe you're not. Like I said, I don't want to go into that sort of thing, but just as a general thing at a higher level. I mean, how do you think people feel about him and his views on global warming?
I don't agree with that. I don't agree that global warming isn't a thing or climate change isn't a thing at all. My stepdad believes that. I've got a friend that also said that to me the other night.
Sorry, that's a bit double negative. So can I just be clear? You do accept global warming, or you do not accept global warming?
I accept climate change and global warming. Absolutely.
Okay.
I know people that I have this debate with quite regularly lately. Actually, absolutely, I believe it's a thing. And the thing is, it's always happened before. We even started the Industrial Revolution. The Earth is going to change its conditions every. Like it happens naturally.
Of course.
We may have increased the rate that it happens, but these bushfires, I read somewhere that in a single day it had released more carbon than we could hope to with cars in 100 years.
Yeah.
I remember hearing a story about Australia being burnt out in 1856 due to the same phenomena.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
bushfires always happen, Bri. I mean, that's not a new thing, and it's a natural thing. And although it's a disaster for a lot of the wildlife, it's also an opportunity because it clears land and so fresh growth and new opportunities. Yeah, of course. It's the scale of this right now because this isn't just a bushfire. It's Armageddon.
Yeah, it's when you include like property and people and structures and vehicles and stuff like that. And it seems so much greater.
Yeah, insurance premiums have gone up.
bet.
People have lost their homes. People have lost their lives. I mean, it is a catastrophic event.
Actually, there's something I was going to ask you, Cypher, because it came up in discussion with me and someone at work. Does people's sort of house insurance cover it, or do they have a get out and say, "Oh, it's an act of God, we're not paying"?
I'm not too sure on that myself. I believe you would have to, and depending on the region you live, if you lived in a heavily forested area like we do, it would probably be a smart idea to add something like bushfire insurance to your insurance policy.
Okay.
People more in the cities, I think, wouldn't go for that because they're not obviously going to have the same risk that we are in the rural areas.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as I know, it is something that you have to opt for on an insurance policy. Even if you live there in the first place, you've chosen to live there, so you have to opt to pay the extra premium for that.
Yeah. Well, Fantarang has just said in the chat, and he's quite right. There are even seeds. Not sure about Australia, but certainly worldwide, there are seeds that have to be burned before they can work.
Absolutely, yes.
So I mean, it is opportunity, and it is a natural thing. It's just
the scale of it. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
To be honest, words fail me. And I'll be honest. I've looked at those news reports, in awe at the power of nature, but almost in feeling really quite tearful about what's happening there.
Yeah,
Mr. Sensible, can I just add?
No, go ahead.
Some people think that the Himawari satellite images are CGI because it has a yellow border around the
Australia,
around the coast. I absolutely take offense to that. Without that thing and without similar machines like that, people would have lost their lives more so. And people that deny these sort of things exist in a real absolutely disgust me to my very core.
Yeah. I mean,
so if there's any of you listening out there, wake up and read a science book and actually look into how the world works.
Yeah, it's such a simple thing. Himawari is in geostationary orbit, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So its view is never going to change. So it knows.
It only ever views Australia and Japan.
It knows exactly where the edges of the land are. So it's pre-drawn those in. That's all.
Yeah, that's why it always photographs the same part. Yeah. Otherwise, it could photograph Europe and then America
I'm going to take this opportunity to bring a friend of yours in, Cypher.
Oh, yes.
And here in the chat now is Philosopher of Nonsense. Hello and good evening to you.
Phil.
Hello.
I've got your buddy in here, Philosopher.
I beat you to it.
Yeah, who let that guy in?
We were also discussing how you got rather excitable last time with Flat Aussie Jesus.
A little bit, it's just like, I kind of get my blazing a little bit, but...
No, that's why we love him. We love the enthusiasm over at NASA Blackside Area 69.
And I did say, Philosopher, that when you guys get your thing going, please make sure I know, and we'll let other channels know, and we'll give you a shout out. And do you have, or are you planning to have a Discord server?
We already have one, yes.
You already have one, okay.
And it's bigger than anybody's.
We've been working hard on it. I've been really sort of lucky to have met all of the people that I've met that have sort of gravitated towards me with this. It only ever started as the back of my mind when I started watching Simon Dan and then moved on to FTFE, Team Skeptic, Conspiracy Cats, yourself, obviously.
Obviously, working your way up.
Working my way up, yeah. And I just started talking to people in YouTube chat comments, and we started getting together in places that we could. I started a Discord server, and we started filling it with evidence and screenshots and everything we can find. We've been designing experiments to sort of prove gravity's existence and things like that.
And
Really smart group of people, and I'm really, really lucky to have them around me.
And isn't it a wonderful community?
It really is.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Like, when you look at the Flat Earth community and all of they can't even agree with each other on a lot of their bullshit.
I went completely the other way because there was nobody, and then all of a sudden there was Poncho Pete, Antonio Superats, Anthony Riley, Patricia Steer, Mark Sargent eventually come along. Obviously, I forgot about what's that guy from Taiwan?
Phuket Word.
No, not him. Him as well, but Eric Debay. I forgot about him.
Oh God.
Oh, is that where he's from?
Yeah, he comes from Thailand. Yeah,
he can stay there.
Yeah.
I call Eric Debay the L. Ron Hubbard of Flatardia.
Oh, right.
It's been a long journey.
Yeah.
Mr. Sensible, I could be wrong, but I was lurking earlier, and I think SKYFLYBRI seems a little low on the audio compared to everybody.
Yes, someone else said that. I have turned him up a bit. Perhaps in chat, if you can let me know, is SKYFLYBRI loud enough now? I did originally have to turn Bri down on a previous stream because you come through so loud, Skyfly.
Don't turn me down.
No, haven't.
No. Keep your fork.
No.
I love that one.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite soundbite, really. I think that's what I love. Like when I got into the Flat Earth debunking community and stuff, was some of the sound bites are just hilarious.
Well, did you hear? I think it was on my last stream. Mr. Victory. He's been on a couple times, but his daughter. I think she's 9 years old. She is That's the one. That's the one. She is the official Mr. Sensible girl, and
love it.
Absolutely wonderful she is. And I must ask him for an audio file of her saying that, and maybe if they're cool with it, a little video clip.
Love
it.
Just
tie a knot in it.
Just tie a knot in it.
Tie a knot in it.
There's something wrong with that laser.
Yeah, that laser's broken.
Anyway,
you guys don't
interesting.
FTFE when he got 20,000 subscribers, he had a 20-hour live stream, and I happened to get lucky enough to get into that. That was my first exposure to anything like that, and that's where I was there when Vlad said that. I'll never forget it. It was hilarious.
Thanks, Mrs. Sensible. Look at this tea delivery.
I literally fell out of my chair on that one.
Oh, nearly dropped it.
I don't know.
That's one of the okay. So you're trying to disprove the globe model, but you don't know what you're talking about in regards to your own model that you don't have, never have had, and never will be able to come up with because the Earth is not flat.
So who are you talking about? Who are you talking about?
Flat Earthers in general, just flat Earthers in general. Whenever one of them says, "I don't know about," they're supposed to be coming in prepared with evidence, and that's one thing that we've been talking about over at our little thing. It's like when they come into these debates and they don't have any evidence and they sit there and say things like, I don't know how that works. You should know, because that's how.
Well, if you're going to debunk someone, you need to know what you're debunking, don't you?
Absolutely.
And
this is fascinating.
Bri, April Van Ryn has said that the sound is fine now.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I was thinking about someone like Dow from Beyond the Imaginary Curve. He believes in the flat Earth, but he won't promote himself to believe there's an ice wall or a dome or anything else. He won't entertain any of that, but he thinks it's flat. So how can he keep to that without moving on?
I think he's just sort of avoiding explaining it.
Water's always flat. I know the properties of water.
Well,
that's all he says. That's all he says.
I love these arguments where they say, "Oh, sorry, I cut you off."
Sorry, no, I spoke over you. Sorry.
How polite! How polite we all are.
Oh, we're all sweethearts here, They always like to say, "Yeah, water's always flat. Water's always flat." My walls are flat, but they're not level.
But if you think about it logically, if water was flat, it would become stagnated. water in the
Yep.
sea constantly moves.
That's a question I literally had yesterday. What are waves doing? They don't seem to be finding a level. They seem to be rising up and then crashing down. What's causing that?
The rogue.
I know wind has a part to play with that.
They say it's the moon. They say it's the moon. Of course, it's the waves. Who mine?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I just muted myself. I just had to say something to Mrs. Sensible for a minute. She brought me a cup of tea, isn't that kind?
Is
there,
that
are there 2 sugars in it?
No.
Oh, apparently there aren't 2 sugars in it.
1.5.
Oh,
Oh.
I want to say to you, Mr. Sensible.
Yeah.
Try Moringa tea.
Have you ever heard of Moringa tea, Mrs. Sensible?
No.
No, she hasn't heard of it.
No, I can't.
It comes from the
I
equator.
guess I've heard of that either.
It's a tree plant.
No, we've not heard of it.
Oh,
No, not.
everyone wants to try Moringa.
I'm going to try it now.
Well, there you go,
Why
Brian.
everyone wants to try it
I
because
think
it's so
Bry's
expensive.
Bry's got the market cornered on Moringa futures.
No, I don't know. They sell it in, what's his name? Sanctum Barrett. Harrod and Barrett. I can't remember.
Holland and Barrett. Holland
Barrett. Yeah, the house store sells it in the UK.
Other stores are available.
Other stores are available. But it's so expensive. It's £80 a kilo.
Yeah, well, that would
God.
be a hell of a strong cup of tea with with a kilo of that stuff in it, wouldn't it? I
Well,
assume it
yeah.
would make more than 1 cup.
Oh, well, I'm sure it would.
Have you ever tried Kopi Luwak coffee, Bri? I
Fuck
guess
them.
Now you're just making stuff up.
no. Have you, Philosopher? Have you never tried Kopi Luwak?
No, I can't say that. I am the good old fashioned Captain Picard Earl Grey tea person myself.
Have you never heard of Kopi Luwak?
Absolutely not.
And what about you, Cypher?
No, I'm looking it up now.
Oh, you're in for a treat. I have tried it.
How do you spell it? Kope?
I'm not sure. It might be Kopi and Luwak, if I recall. It's the world's most expensive coffee. But Bri, you've heard of it then?
I've not heard of that. I've heard of Moringa tea.
Oh right. Well, listen. Let me tell you. You guys have obviously not seen the film The Bucket List, where
No.
I've forgotten the actor's name. Jack Nicklaus throughout is drinking Kopi Luwak, and he doesn't know what it is. There is a certain type of civet, a type of creature. That, I forget where they come from. It's only one place, but they eat the finest coffee beans.
It's probably from India.
They eat the beans, they get softened in their gut, they poop them out.
I have heard of this.
The
Actually,
locals
yes.
collect the poops, dry them, and pick the beans out, dry them, and then it's ground to make Kopi Luwak. And I'll tell you what, I've tried
I think I
that.
saw that on Discovery.
So, have you found it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
But
Interesting.
What's the noise in
As-
the background?
I don't know.
That's a crow. Sorry, I'm actually sitting outside smoking a cigarette at the
It's
moment.
a
I'll
crow.
put my microphone up. That's a crow, yep.
Yeah, so we bought 1 sachet of this Kopi Luwak, and it was quite a few pounds for this 1 sachet. It should have made about 2 cups, but we divided it up to make eight sort of small cups so everyone could try it. And I didn't tell anyone what it was, so we'd see what they thought. And actually, as a coffee, I didn't think it was that great, but it was super smooth. It was a nice taste. Then when I told my daughters what they just drunk, basically coffee made from beans that had been pooped out by civets, they hit the roof.
Yeah, they probably hate you forever for that one now.
But
That's
that's
going to come up sometime, later on in life. You're going to say, "Well, no, you can't do that." Say, "Well, I didn't make you drink coffee. It came out of a."
Butt coffee. That'd be a good name for it. Butt coffee.
butt coffee, yeah. But I tell you what, guys, it is the world's most expensive coffee because it's so limited. I'm pretty sure it's more expensive than Blue Mountain. It's worth a try. It's worth a try, but it's probably not the best tasting coffee in the world.
Okay. I tell you, I've got 3 words for you.
Yeah.
Death Wish Coffee.
Death Wish coffee.
Death Wish Coffee. If everyone looks that up, Death Wish coffee is apparently the strongest, most heart-attack-inducing coffee in the world.
Okay.
And as soon as I can, I'm going to be buying a kilo of this stuff. I'm a coffee snob. Most Australians will drink the instant stuff. I believe you guys in Britain do it too. The instant coffee.
Yeah, we do.
I hate the stuff. I can't stand it. I have to brew a pot of coffee.
But you know, we'll use beans as well. I see this world's strongest coffee, Death Wish coffee.
Yep.
Sponsored by Charles Bronson, by the way.
Warning, highly addictive. It's created by the strongest combination of beans and perfect roasting process. Did you guys find out the cost of Kopi Luwak? I mean, that's Kopi Luwak coffee price. Let's see. Oh, that's good. From coffee... Oh, come on. Don't mess me around. For 900 grams of beans, it's £159.
Wow.
As opposed to, what's this? Shangri-La coffee? Oh, that's his wild Kopi Luwak. Oh, no, it's only 125 grams. Yeah, so Kopi Luwak cat poop coffee, prices range between $35 and $100 a cup. Or about $100 to $600 a pound. The most expensive
I'll just
coffee.
go buy some cheap coffee and deal with it.
Yeah, but we just wanted to try it, you know. Or at least I wanted to try it, and I wanted everyone else to try it. But I knew they wouldn't try it if they knew what it was, so I let them try it. Then I told them what it was.
That's the best way to do it sometimes.
Yeah, and that's right. You think of all the things I don't like the idea of that. I wouldn't try that. Lux vomit, or whatever the hell it is. But if you tried it without knowing, you might find it something you absolutely love. But just knowing what it is, you wouldn't even try it.
Well, if you knew what hot dogs were, you wouldn't try them.
I'm sorry?
If you knew what's in hot dogs all the time, you wouldn't try them.
Yeah, I don't want to know what's in hot dogs. I don't want to know what's in burgers in general, because they taste so good.
Yeah, by the way, stay away from U.S. pork from now on, anyway.
Why is that?
Well, our dear friend, the orangutan dumpster fire, basically just deregulated the entire industry. So now instead of inspectors going through and checking for things like unwanted hair and DCs and stuff like that, now they are sitting off at a distance at a card table while that inspection is left to the workers, and now they up the speed limit for how many carcasses go through.
So they're
basically it's
checking their own work.
Yeah, they're checking their own. I mean, it's like leaving the people there to do the actual work of the federal inspectors now, and all the employer has to do is say all these pass or you get fired, and boom. So now basically the U.S. pork industry is completely unregulated.
Didn't know about that, but that's similar to the whole thing with aircraft, isn't it? With Boeing, because they changed it from from the independent inspectors to Boeing inspecting and signing off things themselves, and look where that got us.
Well, yeah, it's like if you're going to take Charles Manson on trial, don't have his followers as the jurors.
Yeah, because you might be able to predict the outcome of that. And we have in chat Mr. Flat Earth Aussie Jesus. He's there. So good evening to you.
Oh, hi, good friend.
Hello,
good
Ross.
Good evening, Flat Earth Aussie Jesus. How you going? Ross, that's right.
Yeah, Ross. Tonight we've got Philosopher of Nonsense, who you chatted to last week, and a buddy of his, Cypher Zero. So
I was just about to say, Mr. Sensible, because I look at the channel to see how successful it is, and I go by how many trolls they have and how consistent they are. I was about to say, where are all the flat earthers trying to troll the chat?
Well, we don't get so many trying to troll the live chat. I mean, Flat Earth Aussie Jesus, I'll be fair, does not troll. Flat Earth Aussie Jesus comes here and puts forward his arguments, whatever the value of those arguments. He comes.
I still say he's. I'm sorry. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. I still say he's actually a good guy. He just kind of got his info wrong. But I mean, oh, by the way, quick thought. Did anyone rent Subaratz's Austin Powers car yet?
I've not heard anything about this.
No, what's this?
Is that 14 now? That Red
Yeah,
Bull.
he-
Oh yeah, you did tell me. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, he's got this like clown orange car that he says he's going to put up. I mean, like he does a little walk around, like he's doing a like an eBay auction on it or something like that.
Right.
Saying, yeah, I'll win. You can. I'll give my car if you can prove. I forgot what it even was because the car was just. I was just thinking if I got that from him, which I would so easily. First thing I do, respray.
Yeah, I believe it's Mark III, and it's a reddy orangey colour. 1972, something like that. 74, I'm not sure.
Of course, we all know that none of them will ever follow through because T-Stew's been debunked with his 100,000, which turned into.
No, they're always letting rip and following through, and then putting it out as a scientific theory.
Well, I'd say the best way to suss them out is to tell them, okay, you got $100,000 if I prove the world is flat, or if I prove the world is a globe. So put it in escrow, but they won't do that.
Of course they won't. No, they have
See, I'd actually
move the goalpost. Don't
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say they have to move the
I'd like to put out a
goalpost.
challenge. Yes, move the goalpost. And I'd like to put a challenge out to any flat earther. I'm willing to put you up at my house for a week. I'll cook food. You can stay here like it's an Airbnb thing. Come to the east coast of Australia. Watch the sunrises here for at least a week, maybe more. See if you can spot New Zealand from Byron Bay from where I am. You can't. That's the challenge. Come here and spend a week at my place and have a look at you can go and stand on Lighthouse Beach near here and turn your head and see where it starts to dip away from you. It's pretty easy.
That's a wonderful offer, Cypher. I'm feeling quite flat. I think you and your Globus lies need to be tested, and I'm on my way. Hey, Mr. Sensible.
Anytime. Anyone's welcome anytime.
We got a holiday.
And the important thing is, Cypher, that
I've suddenly become a flat earther.
Your son will be moving from the right to the left.
Yeah, that's all you have to do. You stand there, you look left, and then you start moving your head slowly. You can see there's Town Beach in Port Macquarie here. You can stand there, and where the land meets the sea, you can sort of look to the left where the land goes away, and you can see the curve of the earth. And then you can look the other way, and you can see where it starts to curve off.
Yeah,
it's not hard. You don't need a camera to do it. You don't need to compress photos. You can stand there and do it with your own two human eyes if you've got human eyes and you haven't replaced them with cybernetic implants like we have over at the black site. Damn squirrels.
In the UK and anywhere 50 to 55, well, anywhere north of the equator, the sun moves from the left to the right. But where you live, it moves from the right to the left.
Yeah, but if you turn it around, it's all backwards.
Yep.
No. Does the sun move from the right to the left?
It rises directly in front of me. I can watch the thing. It moves from right to left. If I'm looking up towards Queensland, yes, it's right to left, and it doesn't.
Wow.
Hey, my Aussie friends.
It doesn't.
My Aussie friends. Yeah. I've just seen someone's put in chat. Ian Waldridge put in chat that Pink, that the artist, has just pledged $500,000 to the bushfires.
Oh, that's
isn't that incredible?
I will have to have the Invincible Moose tweet her and thank her for that.
Isn't that great?
That is brilliant.
$500,000.
Wow.
Yep. And who cares whether that's US, Australian, or whatever? That's epic, isn't it?
That is insanely epic.
That deserves a special mention for a while sometimes.
Well, I've just for you, Cypher, I've just received another super chat. 3 AM Paranormal Horror has super chatted €2 saying that if you throw in free Wi-Fi, he can be flat Earth for 1 week.
Oh yeah.
Well, I can top that.
The Wi-Fi flows freely here all the time.
Well, screw Wi-Fi. I don't need Wi-Fi. A week on an Australian beach, I'll go for that.
Well, it's Australia, so it's called Fi-Wi over there.
Fi-Wi, yeah, because it's upside down.
Yep, that's right.
Mr. Sensible, I'm not sure if the people in the chat have seen these pictures in the Discord showing the bushfires.
I know, but I have to be careful because I screw up the broadcast. I've already done that once.
I'm not asking you to show them again, but one of them looks red and one looks brown. Is that CGI?
It's actually what?
Oh, it has to be.
Well, the fires are CGI, obviously.
That's what flat earthers will think. They will look at it and they'll say, well, one's red and one's brown, so it must be CGI.
I tell you what, I have an entire series of those. I took screenshots. I took some video from my home here with the red coloured air. I've got a whole series of those. Once I can figure out how to get them up somewhere into the black site and have people come in and have a look at them, I'm going to put them in their own little tab so that you can go and actually see the difference between them. There's screenshots of the time up in the top right corner. I've documented it all, I hope, properly so that you can actually look at them and go, well, shit, this is the first day, this is the second. It went from brown to red over a few days. I woke up.
I was going to say, do they archive all these pictures? Because, in effect,
I'm not sure. I would hope so.
Because you've got stop motion. You could show it developing.
I'm actually very seriously thinking of writing to the Japanese government and asking them for some time for some dates of pictures if they've got them archived. Yes, I'm thinking of doing that.
Why not?
Oh, I'm pretty sure everything is archived. It's just a matter of where they put it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, I was just going to say, Dark Knight Apologetics has just given a shout out that the shills are starting in 4 minutes.
Yes,
they're just a bunch of shills.
Yeah, they are just a bunch of shills, and they're paid by NASA. So,
that's right. We have the infinite black budget.
Yeah, but that's just a shout out. So if anyone wants to hop over, obviously I'll be sorry to see you. Sorry,
obviously they can't.
Yeah.
Because they have to stay here.
I'll be sorry to see you go, but that's fine. But if you do go, just make sure that you let them know that Mr. Sensible sent you and that you bring cheese. But I'm going to be running for a while longer anyway.
Super smashing great.
And Doc Scranton, you keep asking if I will make Flat Earth Aussie Jesus a moderator in my chat. No, I won't make Flat Earth Aussie Jesus a moderator in my chat. He's a nice guy, but he's the enemy. I'm not going to do that.
Is he here now?
He's in the well, he was in the chat. I'm not sure if he's still there.
Lines must be drawn.
Lines must be drawn. That would be silly.
Just the thing.
Sorry?
Just the thing. I have a challenge for flat earthers myself.
Where do you live? Where can we go?
Oh, wow. Looking for the Airbnb already, huh? Virgin Galactic is set to have edge of the atmosphere flights probably here next. It's only $250,000. And you get to spend several minutes at the edge. And what you could do is you could go and take that. You could go up in that flight and prove right there that there is no curvature and show me the dome. I will pay your trip.
Wow.
Super smashing great.
There's a big problem with that, though.
You had that one up me, didn't you?
There's a big problem with that, though, Pod. The thing is, they won't be able to prove it because photographs aren't evidence. So how are they going to prove it to you?
Can't touch them.
Well, also the windows, of course, will have to be high definition monitors instead of actual windows.
Yeah.
That'll have to be the excuse.
That's all it will be. You'll just be sitting in one of those pilot training cockpits that has screens around it. That is literally all it'll be. CGI.
And for some reason, the weightlessness that you experience will somehow be some sort of CGI faked model thing. I would love to hear the explanation for that when they're in near zero gravity and they're saying, "Oh, this must be some mind control trick." They put something in the coffee, a cat butt coffee.
Well, that's the other one. What about the hotel that they're building in space?
Well, they're not building it yet. There's talk of it, but I'll tell you what. Talk of it, but I don't think so. Because for a start, you're going to have to actually get into low Earth orbit. So that's a big jump up from suborbital, like galactic.
Yep.
But also, I mean how many people? I guess there'll be some, but how many people are going to have the money for that and want to do that? Not many. I can't.
All the people who built it, pretty much.
Unless they combined it, and in effect, it's like the ISS. But if the ISS had a module for guests, paying guests to go up there for a few days, but the expense is incredible. And I'll tell you what,
yeah,
we've got someone new who's jumped into waiting room, who
Oh.
may be able to help us with this. Let me bring him in.
Ah,
Mr. Casual Spaceman, hello to you.
casual
Oh,
spaceman.
hold on.
I can't see him. He's not here yet.
Hello,
He's not here
Casual.
yet.
There he is. I dropped him and lost him. Are you there, Casual? Oh, he's jumped out again.
He's being real casual about this.
He's so casual. He prefers the waiting room. We serve excellent tea and Kopi Luwak coffee in the waiting room.
Don't ask where it came from.
There was a lunar eclipse on the 14th of. Is it 11th or 14th? I can't remember.
What's this, a lunar
the
eclipse?
11th of January this year. You were from the UK.
But they happen every month out at sea. You could just get a boat and go out to sea.
No,
That's
Anthony
according
Riley
to
says
Anthony
that.
Riley.
Anthony Riley
Yeah,
says
according to that's what I have. I
Yeah,
have a
On
big
this,
beef with
on
them.
this topic, real quick, I did run across a video some time ago where somebody actually has time-lapse video recording of an eclipse of the shadow actually crossing over the Earth, and actually it's a perfectly great shot.
Oh
So
yeah.
you can actually you're actually looking down at the Earth and seeing the moon's shadow passing over the surface of the Earth.
Yeah.
Where was
Beautiful.
the photograph from?
I'm sorry.
He said, where is it photographed from?
It's basically a weather balloon type camera. I don't know how they managed to hold it up there for a bit. Probably they managed to keep the weather balloon strong enough just to balance out between gravity and space. But yeah,
That'd be
I mean,
interesting to see.
Oh, if
Sorry?
I can just interrupt for a second, guys. I've got to say a hello to Orion, Lisa Irwin's.
Hello, Orion.
Lisa Irwin's 3-year-old called Orion. Hello, Orion. Hope you're having a
Hello,
good time.
that's a great name, by the way.
Isn't
That
it
is a cool
just?
name. That's a really good name.
Oh, and 274727 doesn't want any Kopi Luwak. Oh dear.
Oh, why not?
I guess you haven't tried it.
Just don't think about it.
Yeah, don't think. I told you I got all my kids and my missus and other people to try it without telling them what it was, but I had to sit there drinking it, knowing exactly what it was and exactly where it had been.
I'm just imagining the grin on your face as you sat there sipping away.
No, it's worth a try. If you get a chance, it's worth a try. But it's not $100 or whatever it is, $100 a cup worth. No way. No way.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah, if you go down to Colombia and drink the coffee, get a coffee there. When they give you this really, really, really small cup for the coffee, don't underestimate it. Okay, don't be like, oh, that's not enough coffee. I'll just have 5. Bad idea.
yeah,
Ouch.
I've got
Yeah.
family.
That'll clear you out.
Yeah, I've got family in Hungary, and they have these tiniest little cups of coffee, and you should have it with no milk and no sugar. And wow, is that strong? It's incredible.
Turkish coffee is strong, but it's also nasty. I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah, I think it's probably quite similar, but without the nasty.
Yeah, that's what made me think of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
similar. Yeah. Turkish coffee is just nasty, but if it has no nasty component to it, not a problem.
Yeah.
Well cleaned beans.
Yep.
Well,
That would
well,
actually be a good brand name for the
Italian coffee is my favorite, though. I've got to say, Italian it's always tasty.
well, I see we've got Polar Ian is still in the chat. Polar Ian.
Oh, is he?
Someone dropped me a tip that you've got a video on your channel. I haven't watched it, but I've grabbed it. Is it something I should look at and maybe debunk? I don't know. It's only a very short video, though. Let us know. Oh, Adam L said that I made Orion happy. Did I? I didn't see any comment. Oh, he's giggling. Orion, how are you, Orion?
Hi, Orion.
Oh, nice one.
Yes, Polarian was actually the entire reason that I came in the chat in the first place. I have questions for him,
For who?
as in for Polarian in the chat.
Oh, right, yeah. But he
So
hasn't come
why
into
does the
voice.
sun rise from? No, yeah. Why does the sun rise from where it does? From where I can see it, Polar Ian. Why doesn't it? I shouldn't even be able to see the sun from where I am at the beach. I should be able to see the light of it when it appears, but I shouldn't be able to see the sun, and it smacks me fair in the face every morning.
Well, he's definitely in the chat. I'm
watching it now, waiting for a response.
And he's just given a yes. I think it's yes to me having a debunk of his video, but I've not watched it. So to be fair, Polar, maybe when I watch it, I'll watch it and say, do you know what, he's right about whatever's in the video. I don't know. But also...
Well, if he's...
Sorry?
Oh, sorry. I was thinking if he's convincing enough, then maybe he can stay at Cypher's little Airbnb there.
Mm.
Yeah, did you hear
Offers
that,
open.
Polar?
Any flat earther?
There's an offer there, Polar, for a 3 weeks holiday in Australia. I guess you got to make your own way there, but you got free board and lodging.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, make your own way here. I'll put you up in the spare room I've got in the front. I'll take you to all the beaches along here. We'll go. We can travel a little bit further up and down to some of them. But yeah, any of the spots here that you can stand and just look out at the ocean and turn your head from left to right, and you'll see it yourself.
I'll send you my email.
I think you're going to get a lot of offers, Cypher.
I think so.
Mostly from the debunk
said,
side.
Yeah. But they're also welcome too. You guys are also welcome to come and stay and just check out the natural beauty of this place. And
I'm sure.
For free.
For free.
Wow.
Just make your own way here. You get your airfares and your free, and I'll give you the rest.
Oh, wait, that's right. They won't let me on a plane anymore, so I can't do that, actually.
I don't blame them.
No, it's not that. I'm not medically cleared to fly.
It's worth the walk. It's worth the walk.
I hear it's a really long drive.
I think we should all promote the stupidity of Dow beyond the imaginary curve, and after 3, say no. 1,
No.
3.
No.
That sounds like a bunch of cows.
Yeah, they're Del cows. Haven't you heard of Del cows?
Yeah, the Del cows. The Shills have the Del cows.
Yeah, they're really bad at making computers, though.
Oh, mate, how would we make computers without things like mathematics and stuff like that? That's another thing that really gets stuck in my craw about flat earthers. How is maths not a thing?
I don't know. Well, I mean, that whole business of what was it? What are the angles of a triangle? Sides 1, 1, 1.
A triangle. Yep.
And 10 to the negative 17 being a negative number.
Oh, that's my favorite.
And we got loads of news in the chat. Thank you, guys.
I was talking to 2 flat earthers on a live stream earlier that was offline, and I was explaining the fact that they think that, they know that the Earth's spinning at 1,040 miles an hour at the equator, and it's orbiting around the sun at 66,000 whatever miles an hour. And I'm saying, obviously that number's bigger, and they're thinking, yeah, it's bigger. But I'm saying, no, it's less, because you're thinking about miles per hour. You need to think about time. So you're thinking about miles per hour based on miles per hour. So you're thinking, how can we not feel ourselves moving on an Earth that's spinning at 1,040 miles an hour, going around the sun at 666,000 miles an hour? I said, because you've got your brain reversed. You need to think about the fact that it takes 1 day for one day for the Earth to rotate, and it takes 365 days for the Earth to orbit around the sun. So which one is greater? And as soon as I said that, they realised.
Yeah, but you have to think of something else, because any evidence that goes against it has to be rubbish, doesn't it? By definition. I mean, I don't know if you've ever looked at the Flat Earth Society forums. In their wiki, it actually says that any evidence that appears to be against flat Earth has to be fake, because the Earth is flat. So it's
Quite-
it's total circular reasoning. Show me
quite
some
proud-
evidence, but if the evidence is against what I believe, it's fake.
I'm quite proud to say I've never been to that website.
I've spent a lot of time there. I was on there, watching that for years, getting entertainment before I suddenly thought, I wonder if there's anything about it on YouTube, and then got hooked on it on YouTube.
Yeah,
Well, I
but-
could use their. Oh,
Sorry.
sorry.
Carry on.
I could use their same logic. Since they've concluded that the Earth is flat, and now they're scrambling for any evidence to support that theory, I could just say flat earthers all don't exist either, so they have to prove their existence. Actually, really quick, I just want to throw in the favorite thing that a lot of flat earthers like to do is the reversal of the burden of proof.
I was just about to bring that up. Yes.
And according to any law book, the burden of proof falls upon the prosecution, not the defense. So, and in this case, the prosecution is the flat Earth community, and the defense is people who read science books. So, they have to prove it to us, not we have to prove it to them. But they always say we have to prove it to them.
I'd like to take that opportunity to use that as a segue into Anthony Riley's apparent legal degree and whatnot. And yeah, Anthony, it's not legal, isn't science. It never will be. It's the law is a man-made thing. The laws of nature happen because of certain things happening that we're still trying to figure out. Science doesn't go proving anything. It looks into why things happen, and the explanations that have been provided have been arrived at over thousands and thousands of years of different people. You can't go claiming science is a religion. There's no such that is utterly ridiculous. Science is not a religion, never will be, never has been. It is a group of people like myself from around the world that have been curious about the world. I'm a layman. I'm just a dude in Australia sitting in his fucking air-conditioned house because it's hot as balls outside. And yet on the other side of the world...
Sorry, that is so Australian.
Hot as balls.
Hot as
That's something I picked up.
It's as hot as the devil's balls.
That's a phrase I picked up back in my ham radio days when I was talking to people in Australia from Hawaii, oddly.
Yep. It gets hot as fucking balls here, and yet there are people going through winter and snowstorms and stuff right now. How does that work on your flat plane? None of your claims for things can actually happen. If the plane was flat, it would work a completely different way. And that's another thing. I used to work in global telecommunications. We have to keep all of New South Wales connected to the internet. The shit doesn't work on a flat plane.
Yeah, I just try
never
to bring
mind.
Casual Spaceman in. I think it's a permissions problem. He's on his phone, but it's not... Casual, if you can hear me, it's not something I'm able to sort out right now. We'll have to look into that for another time. I'm not aware of any issues.
Actually, a quick tip maybe is if Casual Spaceman not only make sure that no other devices are logged into the Discord for one, but also just if he's on a phone, just try restarting the phone. Maybe it could just be a glitch in the cache.
Apparently, it needs some permissions, and I'm not sure what it is. And I think I'll have to leave it for tonight because I can't. Unfortunately, spend the time looking around. I don't know if you guys have come across Casual, but he's a great guy, Matt.
Absolutely, yes.
yeah,
I'd like to get him a NASA Black Site Area 69 ID, and I'll make you one up as well, Mr. Sensible. We've got ID cards that are hilarious. You'll love them. Yeah,
thank you.
I've set it all up. So the Flurfs hate NASA, and this is where I'm going to do my little spiel here. The Flurfs hate NASA, so I've set it up with a whole heap of genetically engineered, cybernetically modified squirrels, and we basically hide the truth of flat Earth. Truth spelled TROOF. You'd need $1 trillion a day to cover something like that up and hide it from the general population. Just saying.
Also, just the sheer numbers of people that have to be in on it, and also, I mean, it simply comes down to the point of why. Why would you be hiding the shape of the Earth when it's going to be so easily found just by going for a walk?
Okay, right, guys, my Australian friends. I have another Australian friend to bring in, so please hold yourselves. here is...
I know who it is.
Flat Earth, Aussie Jesus. Good evening to
Hello,
you, Ross.
Good evening.
Good
How's it going,
afternoon,
guys?
Ross.
Not so bad, thanks, Ross. And you?
Good morning. Yeah, pretty good for a Sunday morning.
Good, good. I'm glad to hear it. And I'm always glad that when I talk to you, despite some of the things that have been said in comments between us, we're polite and respectful here.
Absolutely, yeah. Of course.
Good man. Yeah, so we got philosopher of nonsense in here again, who you tackled,
Philanderer.
who you tackled last week, and his pal Cypher Zero, both from Oz.
Good morning, Ross. How are you?
I'm well. Gee, I'm just trying to work out how to adjust the volume on my headphones, actually.
Okay, well you're coming through
Very
nice
bloody
and
loud,
clear.
okay.
Well,
No,
you're
good. You guys are just coming through very loud in my ears, that's all. So
Oh, I
I'm trying to
see.
adjust that.
have you got an
For me,
adjuster
you
on your
sound a
cable?
little tin canish.
I have to actually use the volume of the computer, which I rarely use. But anyway, it's all good.
But maybe you could just move away from the mic a little, Ross.
I can't because it's attached to my headphones.
Oh, I see. Okay, fair enough. Well, we'll just make do. We'll just make do. That's all right. So, how have you
can
been
still
this
get
week?
down a bit.
Did you have a good Christmas and New Year, Ross?
I had an excellent one, yeah, thanks. Yeah,
Good.
couldn't be better.
Oh, nice one. Mine.
Met the love of my life, and yeah, all good.
That's nice to hear. Nice to hear. So I don't know how much of your of the stream you've heard. We've had a nice long chat about these terrible fires you guys are suffering there in Oz, and a few other bits. We've talked about Kopi Luwak coffee. I don't know if have you ever tried that?
No, I've never tried. What's it called? Privet shit.
That's the one. Civic coffee. Civic shit coffee.
Civic shit.
I have tried it. It was all right. It was all right.
I'm sure it's pretty good.
Yeah, but not $100 a cup good.
I'm sipping on my coffee at the moment, actually, and I'm all about instant. So
Okay.
none of that.
No, fair
I'm
enough.
all about that Russian coffee. You know, it's clear. It smells a little like jet fuel. You know, you mix things into it. It's really.
That's called vodka, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's what it's called. Vodka.
Russian tea.
Russian tea, yeah, that's right.
Fire water.
But
Ross, I'm not interested in the coffee. Are you near the fires?
No, where I am, it's actually beautiful and clear at the moment. We've had clear skies for a couple of weeks. We had rain on Christmas Day. We've had little bits of rain here and there, so things are getting green again, and we're quite lucky around here. But yes, I understand
So-
much further south, they're really copping it. So.
Oh, yeah, at the moment, yeah.
Ross, you're far away from where the fires are happening, right?
Oh, there's been some around, not too far. Thank you. To say, like, we've had smoky skies for months, really dark smoky. Like the sun has been this bright red, like a jacker in the sky in the mornings and stuff, because of all the smoke. But yeah,
Ross.
fortunately where I live is quite green and lush.
Ross, do you think all these fires in Australia will make the smoke build up in the dome on the flat?
No, that's all just part of normal nature. Earth is the planet
Hello?
Earth is very, very big, and it can tolerate tiny little things like this.
1 second.
How big
Oh, I just tried to
Oh, we
bring
almost had him.
Yeah, I thought he was in there. Casual, I'm so sorry, pal. I don't know what the issue is.
This has got to be so frustrating.
Yeah. But we got another guy in there, so hey, this is a bit of a party right now. I'm bringing in Chrismer.
He to the point where
Oh, no. Now you've got three
No,
blacks out.
that's it. I'm out. That's it.
You actually have like three of the board members of the black site in here at the moment.
Was this an invasion?
It's a
Yes,
takeover.
we've
The
taken
squirrels-
over.
the-
We've taken over.
we're
the
taking
squirrels are
over.
starting to move. Yes, we are.
Yes, but
We are coming in a big way.
you can try and take over, but look at this Cypher Zero. He's gone. And he's back again. Sorry about that, Cypher. I have the power.
Love it.
You're
That,
so
yes.
mean, Mr. Sensible.
Bye, philosopher. Hello again.
You terrible, terrible person.
But it's such fun.
Phil, I'm actually thinking, should we unleash the general?
Oh, I don't
think
know.
it's
I don't know if Mr. Sensible's ready for that.
Oh,
I think Admiral Whiskers will be a better choice. After all, he's only got 3 days until he's.
That's right, until retirement. Yep.
Yeah, but it's 3 days to retirement. He's been saying that like for 6 years now.
Yeah, I know.
His
So-
memory's not that great.
Are you going to share what this is all about?
This is the black side is run by squirrels. We've got Admiral Whiskers. General Mayhem is the one you've got to watch out for. And Flurfs, General Mayhem may. I don't know if he's actual. He swings from second to second on whether he's a flat earther or a globe believer.
Okay.
He's a genetically modified, cybernetically enhanced squirrel that basically does everything in the black side. He oversees everything.
And then there's Chad. Just ignore Chad. He's
Chad's
Chad.
Well, he's the
We can't get rid
Chad,
of
so you know.
Can you guys hear a clicking noise?
yes.
Yeah, I
very
do.
Noisy.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Oh wait, that might be
That's
that might
Chrismer.
be,
No, that is
that's
Chrismer.
yeah.
That's
Sorry,
the problem
I'm
yesterday,
on
I'm
an
on
yeah.
an
Zero,
older
sorry.
computer.
Cypher Zero.
I'm sorry, I'm on an older computer and it might make
Yeah,
clicking
that's-
noises.
Yeah, it's you. Yeah.
Are they flat earthers?
One of those binary computers, is it?
The squirrels, are they
Still
flat
takes the
earthers?
punch cards.
I'm sorry, it's Ross. Say again.
That your computer is still one of those ones that takes the punch cards, is that?
Sounds like it,
He's literally punching in the cards right now as we speak.
Using a whole punch.
Oh,
Well, I think
remember
and I
punch
think we
cards.
can actually use Chrismer's clicking computer as a jumping off point for the flat Earth debate, as I think we may end up having here. And computers and mathematics, and Ross, I'm not too aware of your beliefs on the flat Earth, but are you one of the mathematics deniers?
Oh, of course I don't deny mathematics. In fact, I think mathematics proves it's flat because if you use the curvature formula, we see way too far. Unless the Earth is
are
actually
you
way
talking about
bigger than
Hold on. I just got to stop it right here. What exactly is the flat Earth curvature formula?
It's flat and level is the flat Earth curvature
No,
formula.
No,
I think
According
what
to
he's
numerical
getting.
trigonometry,
I
if the
think
ball
what
is 25,000 miles wide, then it has to curve by 8 inches per mile squared.
I'd like
No.
to stop you. No, that's
No.
wrong, man.
Well,
That's
7.99 inches.
No.
That's a description of a parabola. No, it's a
It's a
description
parabola
of
to at least halfway
It's
around,
not.
but it's good enough
It
for
does
anyone.
not describe
Okay,
the
let
drop
me clear
per
this
inches
up.
of miles squared.
It
Let me
does.
clear
It
this up.
100% does. I've seen it being proven multiple times by globers themselves.
No.
You can't deny it.
No. Let me clear this up real fast. That formula is used for things like if you're in a war and you're a mortar sheller. That's not what it goes by. That's not how it goes.
Also,
I
it's
mean,
used for actual reality in physics. Is that what you're saying?
Mortar shellers do not follow the curvature of the Earth. They follow a parabolic trajectory, so they know when they shoot it up in the air where it's going to come down.
That's
That
right.
is
Across
a
the flat
parabolic.
surface.
That's a
Exactly.
parabolic trajectory.
Yeah. Well, if you work out the formula for a 25,000 mile round ball or sphere, that is how much it would actually curve. 8
And
inches.
You did
it
see
also-
the video.
and 8 inches.
Also depends on
by
whether
the miles
it's
squared.
whether it's a ballistic flight or if it's a powered flight. That also has a lot to do with ballistics, by the way.
Yeah, but we're just talking about the actual surface of the world that you claim that you believe in. And that surface must be curving by that amount.
Well, no, we don't believe in it. We don't believe.
I'd like to. I don't believe that. I
So
no,
you're one's in denial of mathematics. You're a math deniers, okay? Oh,
No,
yeah.
we're not denying anything. Let me
Not
just
at all.
put it to you
Not
this
at all.
way, Ross.
Not at all.
Truths have many different meanings. Okay, you know,
No,
Christianity
truth
has
is
a certain
truth.
Muslims have different truths, but truths are multiple.
No, beliefs have different meanings, but truth is truth.
Facts only have one explanation. Truths have many
Yeah.
explanations.
Well, maths
Facts
is,
have only one,
is the truth.
and we go by facts.
Maths is one truth, and it's an undeniable truth, and that is the actual measurements that you guys believe in for a 25,000 mile circumference sphere. That's the facts. That's the truth.
Why
It
are
doesn't
there
have-
domes on other
it can't
planets?
change because of opinion. What other planets? There are no other planets. There's one physical
so
planet.
yeah, there is. I can see
the
that.
known universe.
Yeah, Ross, my
You see lights
grandfather
in the
used
sky.
to, my
You see
granddad,
lights in
when
the
I
sky,
was
right?
a young kid, way before YouTube even existed, my granddad would take me out into the backyard with his telescope and showed me how to track the other planets, and I've seen them myself when I was a kid. It's burned so vividly into my memory, I will never forget it.
And have you ever
I've
walked
seen
on one of these
Mars,
things?
I've
One of
seen
these lights?
Jupiter, I've seen Saturn, I've looked at
Have
it,
you
watched it
felt
move through the sky during
any
the
of
night.
these planets?
That's
No,
a
you've
seen
seen
it
genetic
with my
lights
own
in the
eyes.
sky through a looking
I've seen
glass.
it with my own eyes.
Yeah, through a
Genetic
looking
fallacy.
glass. You've seen lights.
I live in a
That's
very
all.
rural part of South Carolina, and sometimes if the sky is nice and clear, you can actually see other galaxies. That's how
No, you
clear the night sky is.
No, you can't. Sorry.
Yes, you can.
Yes,
With your,
okay.
with your, with your
What's
bare-
your
with
what's
your
your
naked
explanation
eyes.
for them then? Lights in the sky. Where? So are they installed in the dome? Are they a natural thing? Do they live in the dome? Is the
I don't know
dome
where
membrane?
exactly they are.
That's-
I know
and that's
where,
where I-
we see them.
Okay,
though.
so
They
you
become
don't
visible
know.
to us.
That's why I have to stop you, man. You say you don't know. We
Which
do.
appears to be a
Guys,
We know what they
guys,
You don't
guys,
know that.
guys,
No,
guys.
you're a second
Hold
listener.
on,
Wake
hold
up,
on,
wake
guys.
up, hold on.
Guys, listen.
Sorry.
I'm happy to let this run for a while, but like last time, I appreciate that this is a topic that gets all of us quite excited. But you must let the other guys speak. Okay?
Yeah, let's try to do it one at a time at least.
Yeah,
I made that
I'll
mistake
just-
earlier.
I'll just take this opportunity to say that 3 a.m. Paranormal Horrors just super chatted €2 saying this shit is why aliens won't visit us.
Well, yeah, no intelligent life.
So yeah, please carry on, but yeah, do let the other guy finish his point. Okay.
We were doing good before. Let's Ross. Let's just carry with the same momentum that we had before, where it's like, oh, I cut you off. I'll let you speak, and then once you're done speaking, you look for a hole, punch yourself in, say your thing. You know, just like we want to keep it cordial. You know, and also if we talk over each other, nobody can hear any of us. So yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, all I'm saying is that nobody knows what the stars actually are because nobody has ever been to one. No one's ever actually felt one. No one's walked on one. We will never go to them as though they're physical terra firma. And to believe that that's what they are is simply a belief.
But Ross,
And it's not a very intelligent one because it has
Point of
no
order.
factual proof.
point of order, Ross. That's a genetic fallacy saying that nobody's ever actually been on one. If anyone's been on a star, they're not going to come back to tell you about it because they will have been evaporated away by the sheer heat.
Well, or even other planets. Okay? You believe there's other
we've
planets.
been to the
but
moon.
that's
We've been
never
to the
happened.
moon. We know that's there.
Well, that's a belief as well, and it's a
That's
proven
not a belief. That's a fact.
It's an absolute 100% proven hoax. We've never been to the moon.
It's not a proven hoax at all. It's
Okay,
a hoax.
well, let's just ask you, Ross. And okay, let's stick to the moon then for a second. You said it's a proven hoax. So what's the proof of the hoax?
Oh, there's so much evidence. I mean, one of the best ones is the funny thing happened on the way to the moon, but that's just a fraction of it. The fact that the Russians even stopped attempting to go after the hoax was done was like the burden of proof was finally taken away from them because they knew it couldn't be done. And they're quite happy to say, oh, phew, somebody's done it, let's stop trying to do the impossible. We cannot go that high.
Point of order, if I may.
Yeah, you keep
You say
interrupting me.
the burden of proof. Hold on, Ross. Give me a second here. You say the burden of proof, but the burden of proof is on the prosecution, not the defense. And there's more people who believe that we were at the moon than not. So it is up to you to actually prove that it would be a hoax. And there's been no evidence for a hoax, just supposition, such as seeing no stars on the lunar photos and such. But that's because of the exposure of the camera and the sheer brightness. I mean, if you were to be on the moon right now, just play devil's advocate, if you were to be on the moon right now, it would look like the dust was almost glowing bright because of just how much reflectivity there is and how little atmosphere there is to actually sort of like deaden that out. Or
Okay, so how come in all the pictures they took of them on the moon, it didn't look like that?
I have to fight logic with cheese. Nobody's ever been inside of an egg, but we know what it contains. We know what an egg contains.
Good
Okay,
point.
well, that was highly relevant to discussing the moon, but
It is.
if
It is.
the moon is as bright as you claim it to be, if the moon is as bright as you claim it to be, then how come the pictures of it showed it to be quite dull? They're almost as though it was shot at night time under artificial spotlights. We know that it's actually super bright. It'd be about 200 degrees centigrade in the sunlight. There's no atmosphere to remove the heat, so everything would burn up in an instant.
Fucking
And on the dark side, then it's minus 200 degrees. It'd freeze up. It's just impossible to survive it, however you look at it. If
No, it's not. Because as
we actually went to the moon.
As Mr. Sensible pointed out in an earlier video, those suits, they have air conditioning and heating systems, and they effectively isolate the astronaut from the climate on the outside. Yes, it is much hotter, 250 degrees in the sun and negative 250 in the shade, because there's no air around you to actually sort of retain the heat. There's this thing called heat capacity. It's basically like the reason why it takes water some time to boil before, when you put water on the stove, it takes some time for the water to boil as it comes up to temperature. That right there is called heat capacity. The atmosphere on our planet has a given heat capacity, and there's none of that in space, because there's no matter in space except for maybe like 1 part per cubic meter or so, 1 particle per cubic meter. So that's why there's such an immediate shift.
I actually came across, I'd heard similar, but I heard an even better explanation of that recently. If you if you've got an oven with a baking tray or something in it, you put your hand into that oven at 250 degrees centigrade, you can hold it in there. It's hot, but you can hold it in there. But you put your hand on the baking tray and you will instantly be burnt because of the heat transfer from the tray.
Exactly, because the heat capacity of the tray is much greater than the air. So when you put your hand in the air, you can feel it, and the heat you feel will be mostly infrared radiation. But putting your hand on the tray is direct conduction, which metal has a much higher heat capacity than, say, the surrounding air.
And vacuum has a hell of a lot less than the air.
Vacuums don't.
Yeah, I know, but it's not total vacuum, so there is some, but it's an order of magnitude less.
Yeah, so you're saying that the moon is in a vacuum.
The moon is in a vacuum.
So how does heat
it's at an extremely low pressure.
You're talking over me again. But how does heat then get displaced if there is no air for it to dispel to?
It's not a perfect vacuum. There is matter in space. A vacuum is considered an absence of matter. Space isn't a perfect vacuum because things like the moon and Earth and everything that exists in... It's not a perfect vacuum. 10 to the negative 17 is not a negative number. It's still 0.1 over a decimal point above 0.
How convenient.
Well,
that's not convenient. That's fact.
And that's the whole.
So the heat can get displaced, is what you're saying. You can give off.
Yeah, you just said, Ross, that you didn't think we believed in math. Like, we know the math. Math is my worst subject ever, but I still.
No, I think you back engineer the maths according to what's observed. That's all you'd really do. You don't actually know the maths. You back engineer it.
Just say
what is proven to be.
Just to say, Ross, you just talked right over Cypher Zero, so I wouldn't be throwing stones in glass houses.
Yeah, but guys, people are going to talk over each other by accident as well. That's going to happen. We just have to accept that and try and do the best we can. But it's when we've got everyone just shouting over each other, that's when it's no good, because it's a waste of time for everyone.
Oh yes, of course.
But yeah, so there is. You leave the Earth's atmosphere, you've got 10 to the negative 17. We regard it as a vacuum, but it's not perfect vacuum. That was this whole point recently when they said, "Oh, the moon is within the Earth's atmosphere," because there are still some molecules even as far out as the moon. So instantly,
we lose 90. Sorry.
Yeah, no, go on. 90 odd tons a day of atmosphere.
We lose 90, to space, absolutely. And it's not being sucked out. It is being... So when you see in a movie the air getting sucked out of a spaceship, it's not the vacuum of space sucking that into it. It is the pressure of the container that the atmosphere is being held in for the people to breathe, pushing the air out into space, not the other way around.
I mean,
we've all seen pictures of the lunar lander too, haven't we? You seriously believe that can withstand a vacuum of space?
Ross, the problem is
analyze that, and it's the whole game is busted.
It's not that we believe in this, Ross. That's
Yes, it is.
the hang up. It's not a belief, okay? We see the evidence, we make a deduction based on the facts that we have observed through repeated experimentation, and that's not a belief, okay? That's called comprehension of a fact. It's not a belief, okay?
You can
Flat
look
Earth
at the
is a belief
evidence.
because there's no truth. There's no facts behind it.
It's not a belief.
Yes,
we
it is
tried
a belief,
to prove the
Ross.
globe. That's how people become flat earthers, because they think this
It
is
is
gonna be so
incumbent
easy to
upon
prove.
you, Ross. It is incumbent upon you, Ross, as the, shall I say, intellectual minority, to prove to us that it is flat. The burden of proof falls on you.
Well, we do that by disproving the globe. That's exactly how we come across it.
Well, then you're not using science, are you?
By default,
Ross.
looking at water level, using real science, real factual science, using modern optics,
Ross,
looking into reality, that is how we become
point of
flat
order.
earthers.
Point of order, please. You just said you're disproving the globe.
Exactly.
That means you're not using science, because science doesn't prove or disprove anything.
Well, what good is it then?
Well, if Ross was able to produce a piece of evidence that made us think, do you know what, he's right, it's not a globe, then what you've done is you've disproved the globe, but you've not proven flat Earth. What you've done then is taken away what is regarded as fact currently, in which case we're in a position of saying, right, well, what is it then? Because there's no proof of flat.
I'll grant you that's
Yeah.
true, but then what happens then is you're left with a default position, and flat Earth is the default position with what we experience, what we can observe, what we know to be the nature of water and any other liquid to do, which is to fill its container. It does not conform to a curvature. It cannot have thousands of miles high bulges between continents and still
Why do waves happen on a
conform to
beach, Ross?
observable laws. Oh, because the
Why
ocean
do
is
waves
really
occur on a
big,
beach?
and we have swell. Swell is caused by wind and temperature and
When you're
various other
standing on a
things. We
beach
also have
looking at a
tides.
wave occurring, the wave appears to be defying its own relative density, as I'll put it. And I would still like to see a flat earther build me
It's because of the
relative
depth of
density
the water
equivalent
itself.
of a gravimeter.
It's because of the depth of the water itself. It comes from very deep water, and when it reaches a shoreline, it gets shallower and shallower, which builds up a wave, which, you know, as a person with many years' experience surfing and body surfing, and even as a lifesaver, one of my first jobs I ever had, I know fully well how the wave cycles work, and it's all to do with the depth of water. Out in the ocean, they don't break, but when they reach shallow and shallow water, they build up, and they will curve over and crash.
So Ross,
if water was flat, it would be because it's moving, it cannot.
sorry,
It's a very large body of water.
Bri, you're cutting out a bit.
A lake will be flat.
Yeah.
A swimming pool flat.
I don't know. I don't know.
Obviously, the
I don't know
water
if you've ever-
moves, so it's not flat.
Yeah, I was about
Ross,
to say, I don't know if you've ever been out on the ocean. You will know that the water is constantly shifting. It's never flat. It's never level on the ocean.
Yeah, that's a result of the weather conditions and wind, basically. Wind is what stirs up the different swells.
Oh, so
And
it's flat.
the
it's
waves
flat
are a
on
result.
there, but it's
Even
not
when it's
moving.
perfectly still?
But it doesn't
The
matter.
water is still level, but yeah, it can
No,
still
it's
move
not
around
level.
because it's massive. It's massive.
Even when it's
Guys, just remember that
Sorry.
Ross is in here, and right now, when I'm joining in as well, it's 5 against 1.
Yeah.
But Ross, can I just ask
Yeah.
you, just to confirm, based on, we were saying about if you actually did something to disprove the globe to us, someone's actually commented. So is Ross saying that flat is the default position? Would you confirm then that flat is not the default position. If it's not a globe, then we don't know.
Well, no, it's always the default position because we know that everything seeks to find its own level. That's why it always goes down. And therefore, water being a liquid, we can view it in any size or shape or form, and it will eventually become flat and level. The two words which are synonymous with one another. Just because something is flat doesn't mean it's always level, but when we say flat and level, we are describing the nature of water or any other liquid, and it cannot conform to any other shape. It simply cannot curving downwards or upside down or anything.
I have a question for you, Ross. Are you familiar with what laminar flow is?
Laminar?
Laminar flow.
Sure, it's a fancy term for water finding its level.
No, that's not a fancy term at all. In fact, there's a lot of plumbers who would use this term specifically for decorative water fountains.
Isn't it where you've got a straight jet of water, either through the air or through the water, which is not, what's the word, swirling and so on?
Yeah, anti-turbulent, basically. It's, like you see the fountains at Dubai, right? And they have, or even Vegas, right? They have the decorative water where it shoots up and it's just like rods of water, and they can sit there and like make it look like water is like the snake jumping between points in the fountain.
Okay, yeah.
Basically with water
Right,
without
okay.
any air bubbles in it.
So in other words, when somebody's applying a force to it, as opposed to its natural state.
Well, it's
No,
under
no.
constant force
Yeah.
anyway because it's on Earth, but that's besides the point. With laminar flow, you say that water doesn't curve, but if you were to sit next to one of those water fountain jets and you took, say, I don't know, a ping pong ball and just held it just off to the side so that the water jet would partially touch that ball, and the water will curve around that ping pong ball, you would actually deflect its trajectory. How would you explain that if water doesn't bend?
Yeah, but you're applying a force to it. We're not talking about water.
I'm applying a ping pong ball. I'm applying a ping pong ball. A ping pong ball is not a force.
To water under a force.
That's
We're not in its natural state, are we? We're talking about you put a ping pong ball near water being forced out through a jet nozzle, basically.
Yeah, but
it's hardly the natural state of water at all.
Falling by itself. It was falling by itself in a laminar flow. How would I be applying a force to that?
The only force being applied would be gravity in that instance.
Or the relative density, and water being more dense than air.
I'd like to jump in right there. And Ross, when someone can provide me the gravimeter equivalent of a relative density meter, something that can actually measure the force of relative density in the object, the relative density of the... and this is where I'd like to bring up, we're designing an experiment. We're going to put an iron and a bismuth ball inside a tank of mercury. Now, steel is less dense than mercury. Can we all agree on that?
I'll take your word. Yeah. Yes, because we've seen anvils float.
Steel is less dense than mercury. Liquid mercury, right? You can float a steel ball in liquid mercury. Now, according to the theory of relative density, the steel ball shouldn't even enter the mercury itself. It should roll along its surface. Would that be an incorrect statement?
Well, it's got its own weight, so it's going to displace a certain amount around it and create a bit of a dimple because it still has its mass.
But the mass, when you sit it on top of the mercury is denser than the steel ball. The steel ball will sink slightly into the mercury and float there. You can push down on it and it'll bob back to the surface.
Yeah, it's a bit like ice floating in water. It floats at the surface, doesn't it?
But according to relative density, that steel ball shouldn't even be going into the mercury itself. It should be rolling along the surface of the denser mercury. Do you get where I'm going with this?
That's the nature of a liquid. The nature of a liquid means that it does displace because it's not a solid. If it was solid and it was frozen steel, then it would sit on top.
Powdered mercury.
I don't see that it's different. I think Ross is right in that. Surely, I agree it will float on mercury like we've seen an anvil float, but surely that's no different than, say, a piece of wood on water. It will float, but it will be partly in it.
Yes, it doesn't sit on it. It doesn't sit on it like, say, putting, say, a steel ball on hardened lacquer, where it would just sit on top of the lacquer.
Yeah, because it's a liquid.
But the lacquer is actually...
If mercury was frozen into a solid, then it would sit on top of it, but it's a liquid.
But
so liquid gets displaced to a certain degree.
Hardened lacquer is less dense than the steel ball, so why doesn't it sink through?
Ooh.
It's the nature of a solid versus the nature of a liquid. That's all it is. Very simple.
Density does not account for solid, liquid, or gas. Okay, density is just density.
It doesn't account for the movement that an object.
Well, it does, because the solid ground will stop any amount of mass, whereas a liquid can be displaced by a certain mass. But in air, say, my best example is like take a tennis ball and a lead ball the same size. They will drop through air at exactly the same rate, 9.8 meters per second squared. That's just the nature of falling through the medium of air. But when I hit the water, the tennis ball actually gets stopped. It floats, whereas the lead ball keeps sinking because it's far more dense.
But the lead ball sinks at a different rate, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Then it sinks at the air or a vacuum?
That's right, because the water itself is far more dense than air. But the tennis ball itself, it floats.
Well, if it's just density, Ross, if it's just density, by sheer fact that the steel ball is more dense than the water surrounding it, water should not slow it down, slow its descent, such as that.
Of course it would.
You drop it out of a plane, right? It goes through the air, 9.8 meters per second squared, right? It falls at a certain trajectory. It'll hit the water, but it will sink much more slowly, even though it's more dense. But it slows down. So if it's all about density, why would that occur? Why wouldn't it just sink at the same rate that it fell through the air?
Well, that's why I used the two examples to compare of two things of similar size.
The correct answer is one word.
Well, it's the buoyancy factor of air itself. The aeroplane is quite full of air.
With that, why aren't we choking on the denser elements that exist in the atmosphere?
That is quite interesting.
Cause of things.
Because air itself, being a gas, all the different gases mix quite readily over a very large area. You have to go like as high as Mount Everest before you get to the point there's not enough oxygen.
Can I just interrupt for a second before we get onto atmosphere, which is quite interesting? This one, I've had a super chat, and really it's aimed towards you, Ross. It's from 3am Paranormale Horror, who super chatted €2 saying, "Hey Jesus, explain the 15 degree per hour drift." Do you have any explanation for that? You know, the old Bob Nadell thing with the ring laser gyroscope picking up 15 degrees
Bob.
per hour. Yeah, thanks, Bob. Cheers, mate. Do you have any comments on that, Ross?
Well, I guess you could invoke Einstein onto that one and invoke the theory of relativity and say that one thing is moving, and that's the stars. And so if that's what the ring laser
gyroscope doesn't know the stars.
They also encased it in a bismuth case to prevent that. So no, sorry, that doesn't work.
No.
Yes, because they did try and isolate it from the heavenly energies, I think they called it.
Not just with the bismuth,
But
they
the very
used two
reason
different types of
Einstein-
cases. They used bismuth and something else that escapes my recall at the moment.
The very reason Einstein came up with the theory of general relativity in the first place was because no detection of the motion of the Earth could be detected. It was impossible to detect it physically, so he invented a theory to explain it. And
The Michelson-Morley experiment disproved aether or anything like that in the movement of the aether. It doesn't fly, Ross. I'm sorry. It doesn't work.
I didn't even bring up the aether. I don't know why you brought that up.
Because it ties directly into what you're claiming.
Well, Ross, you're arguing something that's been debunked 2,300 years ago, so you might as well be.
But the 15 degree per hour drift that we detect is actually the motion of the sun. So I'd say that's all you're detecting.
How would the sun cause a 15 degree per hour drift to one particular direction on the Earth when that particular ring gyroscope is just on Earth in one place, but the sun is not always acting on it at the same position? It detects.
No, but the sun is like the powerhouse of everything. The sun is like the powerhouse of everything on Earth. You know, it sort of indicates all magnetism, all life, all energy, all life that grows. by the sun.
If you had that ring gyroscope on the far side of the Earth, wouldn't it detect a different amount of drift if that was all coming from the sun?
Well, I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I've never used one, and I don't really know what.
Well, then we come back
about when you talk about a 15 degree per hour drift.
Then we come back to the I don't know again. See, that's where the problem exists for us.
Well, you asked me a question about something I'm obviously not an expert in. You asked me if I know about the 15 degree per hour drift, and I've given you my best opinion on it, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's
I'll give you that, Rob.
I was going to say that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Because, well, I for one certainly have a lack of knowledge about certain things. Chemistry, for instance. None of us is going to know everything about everything, and
No.
Ross has given an opinion on that, and it and I think it's fair enough to say that's all I know about it, and obviously I disagree, Ross, with what you're saying, but I respect that you've given an answer to the best of your abilities, mate.
Minister.
Yeah, I'd rather talk about things which I do have some expertise in, and that's to do with the nature of water and and perspective and convergence. That's my personal favourites, because I do know about them, and I've had much experience observing it for myself to know without a shadow of a doubt it's not curvature when we see things disappear in the ocean. It's purely 100% convergence.
So guys, I'm going to be wrapping up shortly, so let's because it has been sort of 4 to 5 on 1. Ross, is that what? Let's have that as a final subject then, yeah? Your choice of subject.
Yeah, I'm quite happy to discuss that one, because that's
okay. So we're talking talking about boats disappearing beyond the horizon for whatever reason. That
absolutely.
Sort of thing.
In fact, if I can start off with a very simple argument to disprove how that is a thing.
Okay.
So you could quite easily go somewhere like a very large lake or a nice big bay or somewhere, like you could do that around here, and you could have two people, one at 90 degrees halfway across, the other one, watching the boat disappear, and he can watch it through his binoculars, and he can say to the other person on the other end and say, okay, the boat has now disappeared. You could take a picture now from the other side, looking at this boat, and that should show you where that hump of water is, which is now hiding the boat. But that has never been done, and it never will be done, and everybody knows for a fact that that's not how it would work, because they know that it's just convergence making the boat disappear.
Well, Ross, just to use the parlance of your understanding of science, how do you know that hasn't been proven if you haven't done it yourself?
Because I know, just even by the fact of sheer logic and theory, and the fact that I've asked many other hundreds of people, and they say, yeah, well, of course that won't work, because they know that water doesn't bend like that. You should be able to see it left to right. The place where the boat disappears, it's disappearing behind curvature. But it doesn't happen that way. It won't happen that way. And everybody knows that.
Ross, I just gave you an experiment with a ping pong ball that would demonstrate that water most definitely does curve. I mean, if you go to empty a bottle of water, right? Let's say you just take a 2-liter bottle of water, right? You poke a hole in the cap, it's filled with water, and you squeeze it to make the water come out. Does the water shoot straight out into infinity, or does it bend towards gravity?
But see, that's ridiculous even to bring that up, because we're talking about the natural state of water, not when you apply a force to it. You're applying a force to it, and it will naturally find its level once it's no longer contained.
So what force am I applying to it to make it bend towards the...
You're using a form of pressure. Pressing on it.
I'm using a form of pressure to get it out of the bottle. Once it's out of the bottle, I have no control over it. Why does it bend to Earth?
Because it's taking the most natural, shortest, forget the proper term. It's taking the most natural path it can, the path of least resistance, to return to a place where it is resisted.
Why downwards then,
What
Ross?
you're looking for was vector. It's taking a vector towards the Earth.
You could describe it as a
Relative
vector,
density
but
doesn't have a vector.
But
it's still
why,
taking its path of least resistance.
Ross? Why down to earth and not straight on or upwards or left or right?
Because it needs a place of resistance to be resisted, and air doesn't offer enough resistance to resist it.
So are we back to density again?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Exactly.
That still doesn't answer the question, Ross. You completely dodged it.
Well, no, but you're just changing the topic completely. You completely changed the topic from the natural state of water and the natural state of convergence and perspective that we were supposed to be talking about, and you're starting talking about applying forces to water, which have nothing to do with the natural state of it.
Are you a laser technician, Ross, or perhaps maybe a telescopic engineer, or even build cameras at all? Do you do any?
No, I don't do any of those things.
Okay, so basically,
I'm a nature lover. I go out and observe nature.
Again, Ross, using your understanding of science, because you haven't done it. You really can't. You haven't actually designed any optical devices whatsoever, or worked with lasers, laser construction in particular, which I have, and therefore you don't have an argument because you haven't done it yourself.
But I'm not arguing against lasers or cameras or telescopes or any of those things. I know pretty much how they work. I know the basics of them.
Ross.
I know how to use them. I know how to operate them.
Going into the weeds
I'm
here.
not arguing about them, am I?
Hold on.
I'm
Hold on a
discussing the
minute.
nature of our optics looking into reality.
Yes, that's
our
what. Hold on, Ross. Ross, point of order. All right. You're saying you're discussing the nature of optics, right? But you just said that, earlier that people don't know that stars because they haven't been there. That's called a genetic fallacy, Ross. And so technically speaking, because you don't work in any relevant field of optical science whatsoever, you're talking about convergence and all that stuff, but you don't even work in that field. So by your own logic, you don't have any real evidence. You're just saying based on common sense. Common sense.
Well, because I don't observe reality, mate. I observe reality, and
observation is one step of the scientific method.
That's where I
and I've taken multiple pictures of it. I can see when there's an object that's above the horizon when you're at sea level, and then when you go a bit higher and observe that same object, and it's clearly surrounded by multiple miles of flat and level water, much further out. Then you must know that it's convergence that makes it appear to be above the horizon in the first place, because of your viewing height. And you change your viewing height, all of a sudden you see reality in a different light, because now you see, it's not curvature whatsoever.
Quick question, Ross. Quick question. When the sun sets on its fairly decent cloud cover, because there's multiple layers of there's multiple cloud levels, right? I mean, we do agree on that.
Sometimes it just depends. Sometimes there's no clouds.
Well, not sometimes, there is, but just try for your pilot's license, you'll figure that out. But there are multiple layers. Now, at the very, very upper layers of the clouds, now I can watch the sunset and disappear below the horizon, yet there's lighting the bottom of those clouds, but the clouds at a low level are not lit. I think somebody did a video, some Mr. Sensible guy, I don't know.
Which one was that?
I think wasn't that you, Mr. Sensible?
A video about what?
Showing it was clouds that were lighting the upper layer, the bottom of the upper layer of the cloud level, and the clouds that were lower down weren't even being touched by sunlight. So the light was still there, the sun was still there.
I think
the sun was over the horizon.
I think I saw that recently. No, that wasn't one of my videos. I've mentioned about clouds being lit from below, but I did see that recently where the higher clouds were lit and the lower ones were dark. But it wasn't me.
I go through a lot of videos. It's hard to remember every.
Yes.
Okay, so you're asking for my opinion on that. Is that what you're saying? I'll tell you that 100% that is only possible because if the Earth was then the curve itself, the clouds would be blocking the light from reaching the upper clouds, because that's what the curve would be doing. But for the sun to be able to shine through... Hey?
Have you ever been to Byron Bay? Have you ever
been to Byron Bay? That's my go-to place. I go there all the time. That's my go-to place is Julian Ross to prove
there. And have you watched the sun rise from Byron Bay Lighthouse and seen the rainbow?
Times, I got married at that lighthouse.
That's exactly,
wow.
That's light refracting around the curve, Ross. How can you deny that? That's light refracting around the curve of the Earth. That doesn't make any sense, mate, for you to continue to hold this belief when you've seen that.
Actually, watching multiple sunrises from that place when I lived there for quite a few years, and then lived in Bengal for 15 years, which is just 10 minutes away. Yes, I know that place like the back of my own hand, and I've seen that many sunrises. And one thing I can tell you for an absolute fact is that there's always a bank of clouds on the horizon, because you are looking out into infinity, and there will always be clouds when you're looking that far away.
Well, to be fair,
I've taken multiple videos. Yeah, I've got multiple videos on my channel at Byron Bay. I've got like a picture of
videos.
I filmed the lightning. I filmed lightning on the horizon where it looks like about 2 millimeters high, because that's how far you are looking into. You are looking out into infinity from that lighthouse. So,
he talks over me,
yes.
but
Well, actually, you were both talking over each other, Bri. It is difficult at times. There was no deliberate thing from either of you.
No,
but
I know it wasn't him being malicious, really. But he says he's got multiple this, multiple that. But if he had multiple this and multiple that, he would realise that the Earth is a globe, and it rotates.
Actually, we see too far, mate. We see too far. I can see lightning so far away.
I can go to Town Beach here in Port Macquarie, stand on Town Beach and see the Earth from that one spot. It's not hard. Like I said, I've got an open challenge to any flat. Come and stay at my place in Port Macquarie. I'll take you up and down the beaches here. We'll go to different spots. We'll go to different elevations, and we'll look at the curve of the Earth, just standing there, turning our heads from left to right. Then I can say I've done it with a flat Earth. I can say I've done it with a glober.
Can I just say
this? You're so wrong.
The talk we just had about the clouds, with lower clouds being dark, excuse me, and upper clouds lit, and I said I'd seen it recently, and it wasn't one of my videos. Someone in the chat's just mentioned it was Adam L. He sent me the pictures, so that's where I've seen it recently.
Okay. Ross, I'm just curious. Actually, Cypher, you should augment your challenge a little bit. Or your offer rather, just say if you can go to continental Australia, why don't you use a telescope and find New Zealand?
That's not how
that's part of
by the time you are high enough to see that far away,
you don't have to be high enough.
Atmospheric obscurity. You
don't have to be high enough.
Everything is about viewing height, mate.
If the Earth is flat, you don't have to be high enough. All you will do is see it diminish below the horizon.
You're kidding yourself. You've got no idea how convergence works. You can see convergence working in the very room you're sitting in, where the floor moving away from you appears to rise
and then tell me I don't know what I'm talking about.
Can you see the floor moving away from you, appearing to rise up? Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me?
Hold on, I'm not done yet.
Up or not?
I'm not done yet,
Look, I'm not concerned about your bloody pilot's license.
Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys.
Ross, please. Point of order. I just want to say.
All right, make your point. Hurry up.
Yes. You're not going to tell me what to do.
You're wasting time. You're wasting time. Come on.
Guys.
Hold on.
Ross, can you just let Philosopher make his point, and then you answer it, and I'm going to be winding up in just a few minutes, okay? So, Philosopher, if you can make your point.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not getting aggro or nothing, but I'm just saying, if the Earth was flat...
10 minutes later.
Okay.
Come on, Ross. Please. Come on, Ross. I tried to...
Play fair. We've been trying to be nice, okay? Play fair, all right? Now, if the Earth was flat...
Say your point, then. Make it.
Well, if you'll stop interrupting...
Right, I want everyone to be quiet. Philosopher, can you just make your point succinctly, and then Ross can answer it?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Sensible. If the Earth was flat, not only should you be able to pretty much see all the way to the vanishing point, but when you do see something that's anywhere before the vanishing point, as you raise up, you would only see it diminish below the vanishing point. So you should be able to see New Zealand without having to be any higher. Okay, you don't have to be higher. You should just be able to see it. You should be able to see the shoreline, no problem. You say you have to go up to see it. Well, that would only happen on the curvature of the Earth. And thank you.
Okay, go on, Ross. Do you want to make a comment on that?
Well, yeah, 100% completely wrong. You've got no idea how convergence and perspective works. As I was trying to say to you, you can see it on the very floor beneath your feet. How as it moves away from you, it appears to rise up. That is how convergence works. Your ceiling appears to be sinking down. You change your height, all those angles change. You can see much further from much higher. So you can try it at any shoreline. You see a distant object from where you're standing. Go and do a push-up and you'll notice it disappear behind the convergence point, the vanishing point due to viewing height. It's got absolutely nothing to do with curvature, and you're just fooling yourself if you still believe that it's curvature. It is clearly easy proven that it is not curvature. So gaining height allows you to see much further, and if you're able to gain enough height to see as far away as New Zealand, you will find that there are multiple other issues with that, mostly being atmospheric blocking in its own right. A bit like trying to look underwater, you can only see so far. Well, the atmosphere has the same sort of things. And you also got distance diminution, which causes things to appear much, much smaller in the distance. So even assuming you're able to get high enough, it would be such a tiny little dot that it wouldn't be able to be seen anyway. So, yeah, you can't make that much resolution of something that far away. So between the two, atmospheric blocking and distance diminution, no, you would never see New Zealand from Australia.
I will just say, Ross, your argument makes perfect sense. If you transpose convergence with curvature, it would make perfect sense.
Well,
But it is convergence. It's obvious because curvature is like a mountain. You can only see the other side of a mountain if you go forwards and over the mountain. Going higher does not allow you to see the back side of the mountain, and that's what curvature basically is. It's the equivalent of not a very high mountain, I'll grant you. You will see some amount further, but you will not see over the curvature just by going higher. The horizon would actually drop.
Ross,
continue to rise to eye level as it does.
I think, guys, fun this is. I think we're going to draw this to a close. Okay.
Right, Dan.
I'd like to thank you all, and please,
enjoy.
all of you have been great. I know that a couple of times I've had to step in, but it's understandable. It's going to happen.
It's passion. It's passion.
I know, from both sides. So I'll do my usual sort of thing. I'm going to start from the bottom. SKYFLYBRI, are you there? Have you got any last final words? Are you there, Bri?
Yeah, sorry, I was just chatting the.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, have you got any final words? Because I'm winding up now.
My final words are thank you very much. I've enjoyed this, and I can't believe how some people believe the other is flat. I understand there's some things that they don't understand, but when we explain it to them, they still don't understand it. So I just don't understand how they don't believe.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, thanks, Bright. Catch you again sometime.
Thank you.
And working my way up, Philosopher of Nonsense. Any final words from you, sir?
Oh, well, not much really. Just people who lived on Oahu, as I was born and raised. Lucky me, haha. But palm trees and bikinis everywhere. It's a mess. You look at you stand on the top of Oahu, you cannot see the entire chain even on the clearest day, and simply seeing the top of something does not mean you see all of it, such as infamous lighthouse pictures and such. But I mean, I just want to throw in that Ross is still being pretty polite and civil, and again, I just want to say that I do appreciate that. Because, I mean, people who are just a little too arrogant really get to me. And I like how Ross will step aside and say, this is what I believe, and just say it and let us and hear us out and try to give counter arguments. I mean, that's good, healthy, cathartic debate right there.
Absolutely.
We need more of that in the community overall.
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you very much then, Philosopher. And Ross, your turn, sir.
Yeah, all right. I appreciate being able to come onto your channel and have a chat with some decent people who try not to talk over me too much. It's change.
You're very welcome, Ross.
And yeah, I really find it quite unbelievable that in this day and age, with the knowledge that we have, that people still believe in the fantasy spaceball that they've had ingrained into them since childhood, when we can use our knowledge, our intellect, and our own eyes to look around and see that all those beliefs are nothing but a belief. They're like a religious belief, if anything. They come back from hundreds and hundreds of years ago, if not thousands of years ago, where people still believe in superstitious nonsense that things actually go below the horizon simply because they've disappeared due to convergence and viewing height. And viewing height is the number one factor to why people believe we live in a globe in the first place, because once you're far enough away from something and it disappears behind convergence, they've somehow believed it's gone below something, and it certainly has not. And you can prove it for yourself with a simple drone, fly it up straight up, and you'll see whatever has disappeared behind the convergence, like a setting sun, will come back into view. So the fact that people still believe in this fantasy ball to this day is just amazing to me, and I think it's the highest level of insanity you could possibly suffer.
Okay, can I just ask you, Ross, are you planning on doing any more flat Earth or globe Earth debunking videos?
Yeah, I'll definitely be still doing it. Somebody had me convinced that YouTube was shutting down all the non-profitable channels some time back, and so I thought, oh well, if that's the case, it's been fun and so long, but I don't make a profit. I don't make a cent from my channel, and I'm still quite happy to keep doing what I do.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Excellent. All right, well, thank you very much, Ross. It's great to see you. With regard to the fires in Australia, I think you said that you're in a safe area, so I'm glad for that. So
thanks, mate.
Thank you very much for joining us. And carrying on up, Cypher Zero.
Thank you, Mr. Sensible, for the opportunity to come on and have quite a brisk and encouraging discussion with Ross. And again, I'm going to plug us here. NASA Black Site Area 69 is now open for business. You can go and subscribe to our YouTube channel anytime. We are just a group of laymen sitting around talking about this stuff and trying to hopefully bring some logic and cheese to humanity. And go ahead, subscribe. We're not launched yet, but we will be by the end of this month for sure. So yeah, please come along. We love everyone. Open for debates, discussion, and actual evidence we would like to see from flat earthers, that it exists. The Himalaya 8 is real. It saves lives. Space is real. The universe is a beautiful place. Please pick up a science book.
Cypher, I think that Ross has just asked for a link in the chat. So it's in my general chat, and I don't know if you pop the link there. I'll pop it into the chat now. So if you can get that in the next couple of minutes, I'll whack it in there. Okay. And Chrismer.
Thanks for having me on, and it was a nice little discussion. And I just want to say I find it amazing that people still believe in this fantasy flat Earth idea when all the evidence surrounding us pretty much proves the globe. And mind the squirrels, please.
And everyone, I've just got and now putting the link to the NASA Black Site Area 69 Discord server is in the chat. So there's an invite there from those guys. Thank you all ever so much. It's been great fun. It's been respectful. It's been respectful. I mean, yeah, it gets excitable. That's fine. Because when I've stepped in, you guys have then respected my position and stepped back again. So that's great. I've really, really enjoyed it. So I'm going to say thank you to all of you. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my patrons. And thank you all who've watched tonight. Look forward to seeing you all. My next video is out Tuesday. And long term, here's a big secret right now, but long term, I have had an idea for a flat Earth debunking experiment, but it's going to take a lot of research and a fair bit of money. Watch this space. So have yourselves a good week. See you in a few days. I'm going to live stream again next Saturday, and I've also been invited to another channel to live stream next Sunday. So it'll be Saturday and Sunday. I'll try and give some information about that nearer the time. Look forward to seeing you all again soon. Take care.